Hello.
Everybody, it's us. The harding and knocking of dice. Das ist us. I'm Ian, the Dungeon Master, as it says below my face. These gentlemen around me are the voices in the heads of their little avatars next to their frames, to their lefts and rights, or I think they're actually, yeah, lefts and rights respectively, depending on how they're facing their camera and how you're facing them facing their camera. There's a lot going on. But yeah, see, Gloob's pointing at his right face. Yeah, you're over here. I can't get my stuff right either. He's over here. He's patting him. Bacon safe in real life. Poison. Anywho, we play Ghost Saltmarsh here on Mondays, and we're gonna do some of that. Before we do that, though, brief announcement: we are putting on a hold our Extra Life campaign for the moment. Currently, instead, we've started up a charity for the International Medical Corps, who are doing things to help people over in Ukraine during these pretty fucked times. Quite frankly, I'm just gonna be frank. I don't know. It's been a long Monday, but yeah, if we could get a little charity, there we go. Thank you. We'll click that link though. You can go check them out. Give them the donation. They're helping people out with just shit, medically inclined, helping people out who need it. It's a good cause. Um, Encourage you strongly to click on the link and donate what you can. Maybe take a look around, do some vetting of your own for some other charities who are doing something similar. It is a good cause, and doing what you can is good. So that being said, anybody else have anything announce worthy today? No? Yes, no, maybe so. Bart has some new threads. He's not wearing his hat right now. You can't see it. He had it when he first got into Skype. It's pretty swagged out, not gonna lie. Got the drip, as the kids say. That being said, last week on the Gosm, our fine crew enacted a daring and devious plan to lure their enemies into an ambush by goading them into ambushing themselves by wandering around the streets of Seaton with one Bartholomew Fairfro disguised as Taro Arosi, who is like an 8-year-old human kid. So Bart shaved his beard, took off his arms and armor, put on some clothes and a cloak, and left the warehouse holding hands with Julian as they went off into the night. Gloob and Jakob preceding them. Jakob kind of going off to pretend to be a drunk man, not so successfully, and Gloob doing his best Batman impersonation by getting up on top of the rooftops here in Seaton and hopping around, doing more of a man frog impersonation. Man frog. Anywho, Julian and Bart beginning their moving about, doing so quite effectively. Bart playing off his being a human child quite well, shockingly enough, and by their efforts combined, avoiding most watchmen as they wandered into the more wealthy parts of town. Gloob following them along like a shadow on the rooftops, and Jakob trying to follow them from a distance as a drunk bystander and not succeeding, quickly being stopped by some guardsmen and basically being told, like, I don't think this is the part of town where you're supposed to be, my man, especially after telling them his address, and his address not being in this part of town. So Jakob doubled back on himself and tried to then sneakily follow his friends as they continued on, getting caught once again by a couple of guards and deciding instead of trying to run away, he would try to lie. Telling that, once again, anyway, telling that he was meeting a friend a little further in. The guards, being a little suspicious of his person, escorted him to where he was supposed to meet his friend at a tree. The rest of the party, seeing this, decided Jakob had it under control and continued along their path, After his friend never showed, Jakob was then taken to a guard station to talk to the guard's boss and maybe kind of get down to the brass tacks of what the fuck he was doing. The rest of our party carried on, making it all the way to a previous safe house where Julian's family had been kept, not seeing any evidence of anyone and deciding that they would just go on inside. It was at that time that Bart got a couple of quick stibby stabs, followed by those stibby stabs being ripped out of his person in a very painful manner. What ensued was a short but painful for Bart and his hit points chase of a cloaked and long-knived individual before the party was able to knock him unconscious, dragging him inside the safe house and taking him down into the safe room that was hidden there within, leaving lots of blood out on the streets, which garnered a lot of attention as well as the sounds of their brief combat. But managing to hide their entrance into the safe house itself quite well. Listening to the guards and everything rummaging about, they decided they were just going to sit tight, had bound and very thoroughly gagged their prisoner, deciding that they would question him as soon as the guards were absent. Jakob was then interrogated, or briefly questioned. It wasn't really an interrogation, but briefly questioned by a sergeant present within the guardhouse, wanting to know what was going on. Jakob, after a brief question of his daughter as to whether telling the truth to the guards would disallow the ability for the party to rescue Julian's brother, and receiving a negative that it would not make it impossible. But it was muddy waters. Jakob told the guardswoman what they were doing and why, planning to lure one of these kidnappers into an ambush and capture them and question them so that they could find out where Julian's brother was. Dressed down that was not their place, as they had no jurisdiction here within Seaton. He was then instructed to escort herself as well as some of her other guardsmen to this location, and hopefully they would be able to apprehend this enemy before anything got out of hand, and so help them gods if innocent civilians were injured in the process. Jakob eventually making it there, and our party thinking that maybe they hear somebody out there, but not wanting to risk it because they weren't quite sure, calling out as there were still guards about. Jakob became sure that his friends had perished and was very sad. Big sad boy hours before taking the guardswoman once again to another possibility where if they had run off, perhaps they had gone to his home. Not finding any evidence of them there, he then slid, unfortunately, backwards a little bit, drinking some alcohol before being told that maybe now was not the time for that, and being escorted off to jail. On his way there, he received a message from Bart asking what was going on, where are you, and being told in response that he was on his way to jail. Our three who were hidden underneath then waited out the guards a little bit longer to make sure they had left. Gloob emerging from up top, seeing that the very last few were about to be clearing off themselves, seeing a robed man collecting blood. Whose blood it is, he's not quite sure. It could have been Bart's, could have been the man they captured, maybe a mixture of the two, who knows. But it seemed to be collecting blood in multiple vials for uses of who knows what he was going to do with them. With the guards and the authorities leaving, our party proceeded to question this cutter of the Sea Princes, bringing him back to consciousness, finding out quickly that he was not very impressed by their intimidation tactics, but however responded much better to promises of his own freedom and well-being, seeming to hold no particular loyalties to Farenzal or Farenzal's boss, those who employed him, letting them know that Wanabari Orosi was being taken back to the good doctor, as Julian knows him, as he was the man who made him the weird shark man he is today. After a little bit more back and forth, getting some information that there are some other Sea Prince agents here within the city, and that they didn't seem to be really given access to whatever intelligence networks that the Sea Princes have here within Seaton, surely, but had been instructed to operate independently. But knowing that there are some others there, Gloob then knocked him unconscious once more, and our party still kind of unsure of what they were going to do to him with him, whether they would just leave him there to come to consciousness as he would and find his own way, neither helping nor hindering him, or whether they were going to turn him over to the guards. They weren't quite sure. But exiting their hidey hole and planning to liberate Jakob, as they were sure they could just bop on in there, get him out real quick, sure the guards that it was just a misunderstanding. And that is where we rejoin you guys. As you guys are all kind of climbing up that ladder, one unconscious Sea Prince Cutter down below, still tied, if I recall correctly.
We had not gotten around to untying him yet.
Yep.
I don't think.
So it's now up to y'all guys. You are now in the dead of night. Guards have exited scene. They exited stage left. Not
I think you said you had removed your manacles, but not untying.
Yeah, you said you grabbed. Yeah, that is correct, I believe. So you got your manacles. Rope still on him. I don't know if you re-gagged him or not.
Probably initially, but at this juncture, it's like, if I'm taking the rope, I'm taking all my stuff.
Okay, so you're just leaving him unbound entirely, just unconscious.
No, we were not in agreement as to what we were doing with him yet when we last left off.
So
yeah, I assume we just take him to jail. I mean, what is he gonna just turn his life around if he leaves? He's not gonna be doing pirate stuff. He'll probably get in with some highwaymen or something to the north or west or wherever the hell he's going.
He didn't have a problem putting 2 knives into Bart's back. And he didn't even know Bart. Could have thought he was a kid for all we know. So. You sent a message to Jakob, right?
Yeah, Jakob said he's in jail.
Wonderful.
He didn't elaborate too much, and I'm kind of tapped for doing that kind of thing at the moment.
Right.
Another thing to consider, besides the logistics of we told him versus what's for the greater good of taking him in, having him with us is another thing to tie us back to this whole situation.
What you mean?
The original plan was not to let them know we had anything to do with this, I thought. They're gonna want to ask questions. We don't have time for it.
We don't have time, but they have Jakob right now.
Right.
If we show up with no ties to what happened here, I imagine it would be quicker to out-process him or whatever.
They can keep Jakob and they can keep us until they're satisfied. If they don't believe the answers we give them, then what?
And I think they will be harder to satisfy if they believe truly that we were here, or worse yet, know for a fact.
I was just gonna say we trade. We just have an even trade. Give them this guy, and we get Jakob back out.
It won't be a trade in their mind. He's theirs by right.
All right. Well,
we'll still get taken in, held for another day, reprimanded and fined for operating on our own.
Or we stopped a member of the Sea Princes operating on their streets. He jumped us. None of this is a lie. He jumped us in the streets, and we're turning him over. Here you go. You're welcome for cleaning up the streets of Seaton. We help wherever we can go.
If they were going to see it that way, they wouldn't have behaved that way in the first place.
The way they behaved in the first place is because you threatened to kill one nearly immediately, Julian. Let's not kid ourselves.
You've seen their entire mindset from the get-go.
This isn't going to help.
Well, I mean, if we can't stay, regardless, right? I mean, we got to leave. tonight or in the morning at the latest. So, regardless of whatever happens, if they're not going to let Jakob out, we're just going to have to get out on our own. You know what I mean? We might as
Right.
well at least try to bargain with them first and
Well,
see
that's-
what.
Let
Go
him
ahead.
talk.
That was an accidental.
We are. I mean, so if we can, just let them know this is the guy behind it. He's been hunting them. Give them whatever information we decide to before going out there that they need to have, and say, all right, well, this is the guy you're looking for. It's not Jakob, or I don't even know why Jakob's in jail. I assume he got put in jail because of investigation stuff, or just did something stupid. He attacked somebody, called him the wrong name. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he's in jail. I assume it had something to do with him walking around town with a big sword.
They told us before we left. They didn't want us fiddling around on our own.
That's crazy. We were just going around trying to look for our friend in places that he might have had some acquaintances with, asking some questions. In point of fact, that man actually told us to find out information about Firebrand.
I don't remember them, and this is out of character, but I don't remember them ever saying they didn't want us. They specifically didn't want us investigating this further, right?
It was in his interview with me, if I remember correctly, because he was like,
Yeah.
what are your intent? It's like, I'm gonna find my brother.
Basically, is like that. Like now that we have been actually informed of missing persons, this is now our case. We'll handle it.
Yeah, let the police
Okay.
do the police work is basically what I was told.
Okay.
And I told him to shove it, and he said, well, if you get seen doing anything distasteful, that's on you.
Well, he was probably just talking to you, though, Julian, because you threatened to kill one of us. I mean, it could also be one of those things that they just have to say, right? They just say, hey, don't get involved. You're just a normal folk. We're not normal folk. We've been in war and stuff. We can handle ourselves. I just got stabbed twice, and I'm still gabbing about. So,
I don't think they see it that way. They may not be enemies to us the way the Sea Princes are, but they are working against us.
not everybody has to be an enemy that ain't 100% aligned with you. I mean, I don't think they want folk going missing in their town.
They're not my enemy because they're not aligned with me. But they have made it clear they intend to interfere, and that we operate on their terms, which is just not true.
Okay, I mean, that's a fair point. We kind of are doing some not strictly legal things. I don't think getting into knife fights in the streets too high.
They're more concerned with things going according to their writ than on anything actually getting done.
Sure.
They will be more bothered by us flying in that face than by whether or not we brought them what they wanted in the end.
Okay.
If y'all are fully confident in this, I will go along with it. But I have no trust in them or their ability to be reasonable.
It's better than us showing up empty-handed with nothing to give, nothing to bargain with.
No bargaining. A misunderstanding.
And if they don't believe us?
What proof do they have? We were not seen.
How long does that keep us here?
Less long than if we have proof we were here.
I don't think so. We take a fine. We say, listen, we went out there and we caught some really bad people. And you know what? Sure, we went off your mark, but we have something to give them. If we don't, they know we're lying. They know we've done something, and all we're doing is basing it off. We're just insulting them at the end of the day. And I know we need to get Jakob out of there as soon as possible before your brother gets turned into. Gloob just kind of trails off for a second. And Jakob's not gonna escape.
And what if they intend to jail us for resisting their authority, for not letting them handle everything, for being more than their little towny citizens, for having independence against their law,
I'm not saying
They
there's not a
jail
risk.
us.
I'm not saying there's not a risk. There's a risk with both of them. I think the risk is just less than if we turn this guy in. There's also a risk to other innocent people out there.
You
More
give
people
them too
like
much
your
credit
brother.
for being reasonable. They are not reasonable people, as you have already seen.
Garthman was reasonable enough.
I honestly did not hear what you said. What was that?
Garthman was reasonable enough.
Cody does not
Regardless,
remember who that was.
That was the captain. That was the half orc that interviewed you guys.
Far from it, but your experience may have been different than mine.
so what? I mean, what's your angle on this, Julian? What do you suggest we do?
Exactly what I said before. Go in, see what it was in for, deny any connection to anything here.
All right.
And if they make accusations, what have they got?
They have Bart's blood.
What?
I told you I saw them out there with vials. They got his blood.
What are they gonna do with that?
I don't know. That's what scares me.
I already rolled for it last time. Julian had no idea what that could even mean, so.
If it was even his.
What did you
What?
roll last time?
Oh, something like a 7. It was abysmal. He is not trained in Knowledge Arcana, and his intelligence is a +0, I think.
Gotcha. That'll do it.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
sure,
super
we can-
average human intelligence.
I don't think they'll be able to do too much with my blood, right? I mean, maybe look for me or track to see where I'm at if they think that maybe I was a victim or a criminal or something and try to hunt me down a little bit with it, right? I don't know if you can do that with blood. I'm trying to think of why you would take someone's blood unless you're trying to make, I don't know, like a potion or something for them. I don't know how that stuff works.
Nor I.
You're a hunter, right? What if they just used...
Yeah, that's what I said last night. Is that maybe if they had like a bloodhound or something, maybe track the scent of someone's blood.
They'd have no way to prove it. Animals make mistakes too. We would be unwounded and unsoiled. But like I said, if y'all are fully committed to this, I will abide by it. But I will be leaving no later than midnight.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. This is my first time in this city. I'd like to think that somebody around here's got some sense.
Well, I appreciate that you have that confidence.
You're never too old to be naive sometimes.
That gets a chuckle out of Cody and Julian.
All right. Well, I mean, if we try to keep it on the down low, what are we going to do with this guy? Oh, by the way, we saw a very dangerous looking fella tied up in the alleyway behind your guardhouse.
I was going to take my rope and leave.
That guy's going to kill other people. I mean, he's an absolute murderer. If he had his way, he would have killed all of us.
He killed your son.
Technically.
I would
On the
note
one hand,
that he
I
didn't
am-
say that he knew Bart
he
was
did
not a
say so.
child.
Blue was
the one
across
hand-
the
I know. I'm just
He said
making
that.
sure that was remembered by the other two who
that's
who
what he
were
says.
there.
On the one hand, I think he knew who he was stabbing exactly. But on the other hand, if instructed, I doubt it would have made a difference.
Looks legitimately torn at this point as he just looks down at the bound captive.
I don't know. I mean, this guy's got to go somewhere. I mean, we can't let him free. That's just not the right thing to do. I mean, this guy, was working for a pirate organization, being hired to kill, as far as he knows, entirely innocent people and children and things of that nature, and taking them knowing that they're likely not going to come back. And he said he worked with slavers at some point, if not in a roundabout way. I mean, I don't think this fella's going to turn over a new leaf. He didn't really seem like he was unhappy with his work.
Never said you were wrong. Very well.
Kind of fella that's just, oh well, sucks to suck, and just slit his throat and be done with it. And who knows? I mean, if we give this guy over to the right authorities, then maybe that might take some heat in town off of us and onto him from these other would-be assassins or kidnappers or what have you. And on top of that, they might actually, I mean, I know it's a small chance, but do some good with the information they give him, if they can get information out of him.
I don't think he'll last very long in jail anyway. Not long enough for them to do good with it, but very well.
You will re-manacle him?
I mean, you should keep your manacles, right? I mean, I don't know if they're just going to grab him up and take him off, you know. I mean, they might get your rope, is all I'm saying. And
yeah.
if things don't work out, I doubt we're going to be going off and going, hey, we're breaking out right now. Could you please tell us where this guy's at so we can retrieve our rope?
One more thing, if we're going to do this before we get out of here, where do we tell them we went to?
I'll walk outside of town. A pub.
The trail. Okay. All right.
None of their fucking business.
I mean, they're going to ask questions, and if we're going to give them an answer, we should all have the same answer of what we were doing and while they were out there. I mean, it could be something along the lines of, hey, you know, we knew that there was a guy who used to live in this location however many years ago it's been since you've been in here, who might have some information. He wasn't at home, and this so happened while we were on the way there. I don't know if you know anybody in that side of town.
I only stayed with my brother.
All
Didn't
right.
exactly travel the city much.
Okay. Well, we had the
Okay.
address. We had the address for that safe house, so we can at least say, "Oh, I don't remember the guy's name, but this is his address."
If we were being
You
honest
just
about
make
being
up-
jumped, I thought.
I mean, if we got to make up a story, I mean, we got jumped. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But the reasoning for us being out there was hunting some information from your brother, from someone who lived at this location, right? And then I got stabbed real bad and needed to go recuperate with some magical means. And we didn't feel right leaving this guy on the street, so we took him with us.
So we went to go ask someone some questions. Got
Right.
jumped on the way over here, actually. And took him to go ask him some questions.
Well, maybe not even ask questions, right? I mean, maybe I just
To heal up.
needed to heal up a little bit. We're just completely good Samaritans in this whole situation. Wrong place, wrong time. Or maybe any place in town, we're just under target from being associated with Julian's family. This threat's very real and clear, you know.
Any rough spots in the stories can be covered by the fact that we are legitimately unfamiliar with most of these areas.
Yeah, absolutely. We got lost. Who knows what happened? Well,
Let's do it if we're going to do it.
yeah, I'm not rightly so certain. We went into some alleyway somewhere to get some heat to, you know, get out of Dodge, because he did make a whistle for other people to come. So we needed to get out of there real quick and recuperate some. So there you go.
All right.
How much rope was used to restrain him?
Did you cut it?
I haven't yet. That's what I'm getting ready to ask because I'm going to.
50 feet.
Yep, the whole 50. I mean, I imagine you probably only need a few feet of rope to tie someone's hands and tie someone's feet to get a couple loops around. Dude's not out here with like stumps for arms. So I'd say 3 foot for hands, 3 foot for feet if you're doing for each.
Already.
Your 44-foot rope.
I'm just gonna guesstimate. I'm not using my time to like actually figure this shit out. Like, how many feet of rope will it take
Just
to
make it
tie
real
someone
tight.
up?
He gets 3 feet regardless.
I was like,
His hands are
3 feet
fucking
is
purple
like
right now.
3 feet is a solid amount of rope. You could tie somebody up with that. Makes sense to me.
I'm not gonna question it.
All right.
Good
I now
enough for
have in
government
my
work.
inventory rope, hempen, 44 feet.
Righteous. All right. So what are you guys doing?
Let's drag this sorry sack of shit to town, I guess.
Shit. Where's Jakob when you need him?
What are the strength scores among the people that are still here?
Get
We
a-
got
Get a 12.
10. We got 12. Okay, there's a bonus. What about you, Julian? You're muted, buddy.
What?
That was 11.
I have an 11.
So we got
Fucking
one
Glenn's
person
the
with a
strongest
bonus.
person.
Well, it's not. If you're talking about carry weight, that's based on score, not bonus.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I got that big bonus.
So
Wait, we were just talking about putting people in the bag of holding. How long?
yeah, he is
How long-
incapable of holding his breath while he's unconscious. So
It's a pretty long walk. We're just gonna have to take a break. What are you guys doing over here? Don't
Pull out
worry about
someone's,
it.
like, face, put it
They're
back
just
in.
heads just sitting there.
Jeez.
Is it a 10-minute walk, would you say?
no.
No? Is it
No.
a 10-minute sprint?
Also no.
It's a 10-minute hop and jump across rooftops like Batman. Anyway,
It
you
probably
know-
takes you guys a few minutes to like get him like hauled up the straight ladder because he is just a completely limp, unconscious, fully grown man. So
You know,
just a little bit of a struggle
As
getting
they're,
up
like,
there.
getting him up the ladder, he'll just be like,
on a brighter note, chances are good we won't be carrying him the whole way.
right. Someone's bound to notice us carrying a tied-up body or tied-up unconscious form through town.
Indeed.
All right. Well,
Okay. So just making your way straight there.
Yep.
yeah. I will do some perception checks as we're going through town to, if we notice a guard, to be like, hey,
To flag one down.
yeah,
Go-
just
yeah,
the
go,
flag one down.
go ahead and
Not
roll
to
a
make
straight
it-
roll for me, Mister. I don't have dark vision.
That's an 18.
18, okay. So, all right. So I'll say it probably takes you guys a few minutes after you walk, but you do spot a guard. You just flag him down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wave to him over here.
You
Probably
get a
pulling.
pair. After they see you, they come walking over quickly. Like, what's up? What? That man is bound.
That's
As
right.
it should be.
What's going on here?
Associates of the
Side-eyes.
pirates. And a murderer.
Really?
Yeah, he tried to stab us, and we kicked the shit out of him.
Kind of glances over, like, very, very good. Well,
We're from Saltmarsh. We don't take that kind of bullshit lightly.
noted. Well,
Y'all got a card or something?
Ixnay on the Altmarsh say.
well, if you will come with us to the nearest guard station, we'll get a statement from you and take him off your hands.
All right, we
Please do.
appreciate. Right, he's pretty heavy. I mean,
11 strength. Julian's probably over there like,
kind of nods between to his buddy, and they kind of get a hold of him, like one arm under each of his bound arms, just kind of like dragging his feet. If you would come with us,
Mm-hmm.
so start walking along, heading towards a guard station.
The real question is this the same guard station where Jakob is going to be?
Jakob's in jail. Jakob is not at a guard station.
Nice.
So, on that note,
Old jailbird.
Mr. Jakob, you have been taken to the jail. It feels like it was just less than 8 hours ago that you were here. Divulge you of your arms and armor this time, and the sergeant who had possession of you, who brought you here, who took you from the guardhouse to the scene of the crime, to your house, to the jail, as they are locking you into one of the jail cells, not into the holding cell, to one of these cells.
Ooh.
As it is so late already, you are going to be left here till morning. And then
That's
proceed
that's understandable.
with the proper legal recourse and investigation as to why you are here. Perhaps we will find what has become of your friends. Who knows? Hopefully we find them alive. If not, well, they knew the risks they took. They decided to work around us rather than with us.
I hope you find
As
Well.
do I. Just kind of sighs. Well, they are not entirely uncomfortable. So spend your night, and if you can think of anything else helpful, it would be most appreciated. Shuts the door. It leaves you there. Are you doing anything in your jail cell, Mr. McDoonshire?
Are there bars above me?
On the ceiling?
Yeah.
There are no pull-up
what-
bars on the
what jail
ceiling.
cell?
it is a room.
Turn it into Uncle Ira.
They've got one of the ones that like latches onto the door frame.
This is one. It's a solid wooden door, and it has one of those little like slides that has the smaller bars in it for like talking to people through the door, as well as for one of the smaller ones down at the bottom for like sliding like a tray of food through. But other than that, it's fairly plain. It's a cot in one side, a small wash basin, and a chamber pot. It is meant for sitting and considering, perhaps.
Jakob will be switching between mostly exercise,
Mhm.
but he'd begin by kneeling next to, or just on the ground, and pray for guidance from four gods: Erroneous, Arvorine, Soroli, and Kotlikul. I'm butchering the pronunciations.
There's a lot of gods in Greyhawk for any who
Yeah.
are not aware.
And specifically, he'd be saying, am I doing the right thing anymore? Am I on the right track? What am I supposed to be doing? Is this the right and justice thing that I was set to do?
Okay. spending some time in contemplation and prayer. Okay.
And then, no sleep. Just exercise.
No rest for the wicked. Word.
I don't know how many checks you want me to do, but I started with 2.
Hold on to those for now.
Okay.
There are things yet to come. We shall see.
All right.
So Jakob is working out and thinking about what he's doing and why. Cut back to our 3-man. As you guys are brought over to a guard station, a little guardhouse that's it's not an enormous building. It's more of like it's like a shack, like more like a large shed that is, of course not, ramshackle. It's a solidly built, but clearly not very large building, more of an outpost. It has, like an open window kind of deal going on, so that those inside can hear, but appears to have some extra rooms on the inside. These two kind of come walking up, kind of announce their names, calling in what they're bringing and who else is coming in tow. We got an accused murderer and mugger, potentially, brought in by some potential victims of said murderer and mugger. I just kind of wave you guys in. Yeah, there's like, okay. It's not usually how this goes, but all right. And taking this guy, and they don't have a small kind of very, very like one-man band cell. There's just a few bars with a door, and they just kind of plump him in there. It looks like maybe it's a tide me over before, if when people are picked up before they're taken elsewhere or released, a consideration room. Before the 3 of y'all are led to a small desk where, a kind of middle-aged half-elf man is sat. It's a little unusual.
Which part?
Usually the muggers aren't brought by their victims, but I'm not going to complain. So
Maybe
just
they should be careful who they're mugging.
Surely. If we could get a statement of what happened from you 3 and be on your way, and we'll take care of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was real simple. We were going to ask an old business associate of this one's brother, and got attacked in the street. Guy picked the wrong fight.
Clearly. Usually don't go for clearly armed individuals, but some people are stupid. Alright, well,
Well, he wasn't coming unarmed to the fight either. Glue will summon up the bloody double knives in the bag
you just
and
pull them out of the bag that they're very clearly much larger than. Okay.
place them on the table in front of him. Like fresh blood still dripping off of them.
Yeah, that's mine.
More of a dried blood at this juncture.
Like 9.5 hours.
This has been 9.5 hours. It's been like a couple hours, maybe. Y'all
Oh, yeah,
did
we
not
did
complete a
long
long rest down there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still the middle of the night. Usually muggers aren't.
Sticky blood.
A little more extreme than your regular mugger. Usually they'll just have a knife and threaten for pocket change, but a little more prosperous, perhaps. Interesting.
Well, let's just say he didn't seem to want to give us any chance to give him money first, if you know what I mean.
Is there, you have reason to believe that it's not an incidental happenings? You believe somebody sent this man after you?
He's probably just on some type of something or another. That's all I can reckon. He attacked us and we defended ourselves.
I see. Well, he is unconscious at this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of looks you guys over. Kind of looks over at the guy again. Well, we will, of course, have to question him once he wakes up.
All
See if
right.
we figure out what happened from him. He doesn't look like he'll be waking up anytime soon. Seems to have a bit of a black eye coming on. But for the moment at least, we'll take care of him. Where is it that you are all staying here within Sea?
I don't.
In case
know his
in case
address.
further, in case we need you further for whatever trial that is to occur with him, or if we find conflicting information that we seem to believe from this individual.
Julian will ask Gloob via the earpiece.
Are we telling her the truth on this bit?
I don't know. We didn't plan on staying, so
I was just gonna give him Jakob's address. I don't know if I remember that in character or not. Could I roll like a check or something?
Sure.
That's what Julian was asking for, is he was going to give it, since he was a little bit more familiar with the streets and stuff.
Okay.
Staying with a friend here.
Oh, and his address, their address, whoever.
Yeah, he when it said here. he gave the
Gotcha.
address.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Not too terribly far from here. Very well. Like I said, if you could, of course, we appreciate. Sit tight. Avail yourself of the city for the next couple of days. If we'll send for you if need be. Otherwise, we'll send a runner to let you know that your presence will not be required. We'll just have to question him. And where was it that this took place? We'll need to investigate the area. Just kind of take a quick look around.
It was all very hectic.
And we'll give a very vague and not entirely correct descriptor.
We are from out of town. So,
We will take a look. About how far away was it from here in direction, I guess, at the very least? Closer to the docks, I assume, is usually where these
Whatever
things
direction
happen.
we came approaching the guards initially from.
So, still getting
It
in the
felt like
general
about-
correct direction.
I was helped think that it felt like it was about 10 miles carrying this heavy son of a bitch.
Julian's
Imagine
being
so.
just incredibly vague.
Okay, but you do give him the general correct direction. You can't just lie about
No,
north, south, east,
district.
west. Yeah,
Yeah, like the same district, but
dude. There's only so much you can say. Is it closer to the docks or
so
farther along the ring?
believable that if we were supposed to have met him at that location, that we could
Mhm.
reasonably have run like 20,
Okay.
30 minutes in some other direction.
Roll a deception check for me.
Yay, high charisma. Oh, yes, high charisma. Be a 23.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sits there and listens. We'll, of course, have some of ours take a look around, and as many areas, can't make any guarantees, of course. It's easier if of course, if we come upon the scene ourselves, but you understand, we have to. When claim is made, especially with 3 individuals against one, it's a little backwards, but take your word for it for the moment. You'll sit tight.
We were-
and wait for word.
We were supposed to be meeting a friend also, but we don't know where he ended up at. Do you know? I don't know if he might have been attacked, or I mean, it's the person who lives at the residence that we gave you. I don't know if he's still out there, or
Have you been? I assume that you have been by the domicile and he is not present. If
No,
they're
we
supposed to
got-
meet
we-
you,
we-
then
we got
Supposed to be at home?
attacked on the way
Right.
there.
I see.
And
I
then-
have not received any word of any attacks right in that area. No.
Okay, that's
I've not
great.
been informed.
Okay. If we head back to his place and he's not there, I mean, what should be the course of action to find out that information?
Well, of course, we can. If you are truly concerned that he is missing, we can go ahead and start looking around for him, see if we can find him, and of course, and then.
All right.
But,
In the case that it
may
was a
very well.
premeditated attack, we will be much more comfortable once we have seen he is all right.
I'll
understandable.
kind of look towards Julian. Well, whereabouts from town was he coming from that he might have been attacked at? Do you remember at about what time all that was happening? I'll sort of
Yes.
raise an eyebrow towards him.
Well, we'll give an approximate time for when they were supposed to be meeting.
Just
No,
another
I-
lie, or
I meant that as like essentially the location in which Yakov got waylaid as communicated to you from Gloob.
Oh yeah, like
Oh, right at the edge of the market.
a little
Cody
further,
does not remember all of the specific details
Oh,
of how he
that's
described the
a
area.
little bit in the ways of the market ring. Well, we can ask around guardhouses there, see if anything has occurred. If there was, of course, if he was attacked in that area and guards came upon it, then of course it'd be being handled then. And as we're kind of more on the other side of town, that's a little ways away from us, so it wouldn't have gotten down to us here yet, and we haven't been told.
If he got into some type of trouble out there, where would we go for maybe seeing someone about that district? I guess if that's how that works.
Well, I mean, we have these guard
I-
stations
I'm new in
stationed
town,
kind of.
so I don't know where they are.
All right,
That's
yes,
all.
well, we have they're kind of about, kind of keeping so that we can have somewhere to bring drunks or burglars or something before they can then be taken to the jail. He could be in any number of places, or he could be missing, or he could be in various and sundry alehouses. Who can know? We're not
Right.
a massive city, but we're not small either.
All right.
So, could we get the name of your friend and general description, so we can, as I said, if you're concerned that he may have also been waylaid, we'll start searching for him, take a look around, see what we can find, especially in the area where you say he was coming from. I can have word sent.
Big guy, penchant for heavy weapons and armor.
Okay, large fellow, yes. General hair color, eye color, the like, so we can identify him easier. And I said his name,
full
of course.
description.
Okay.
Right. He had some plate armor, big old great sword last time
Oh.
we saw him. He's a pretty warrior type kind of fellow. I mean,
Should be
I
easy to
imagine
spot.
if he got attacked, he'd probably kick up some dust a little bit.
Imagine so. So, and y'all give him his name and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Okay.
Jakob Doshliebe or
McDoonsleeve.
Doonsleeve.
yeah, there we go.
So okay, very well. I said I'll send out some runners out to that side, see if we can start having them look around that area where he was waylaid. So if you'll, I assume you can still return to his residence. I hope.
Right. Yeah. We'll
Spend
head
your
there
time
and-
there, and once we have word on the locations of your friend, as well as I've determined what's to be done, in regards to your claims of assault from this fellow. We will let you know as well, either if we need more questions from you, or if you're good to go about your business, even if you are to leave or not, one way or the other.
All right. We appreciate your cooperation so much. You've
Yeah.
been so helpful.
Well, that's what we're here for.
And Blacktown's got nice, upstanding young folk like y'all do. Take care of everybody.
We do what we can. I'll have a good night.
Give kind of a quiet nod and turn to step out.
So you guys exit the guardhouse.
Kloob will point at the knives right before he leaves and says, he can use those very well.
We will not give them to him.
Keep an eye on him.
That
Give
is the
one
plan.
last look at the lump in the floor and then head out.
Okay. All right. Exit the guardhouse. Your charge now deposited with the authorities. What are you doing?
Well,
Y'all have now filed a missing persons report for Jakob, which you guys see, like, after y'all step out there, you can kind of hear some murmuring inside before what looks like kind of a younger man is kind of is in, like, has like a messenger bag and stuff, looks like he's a runner of some kind. Goes jogging off into the night. Has like a very official, like, emblazoned thing, like little crest or whatever on his shirt, that kind of thing.
I imagine that after we get outside of the guardhouse, we'll just kind of say to the guys, well, I mean, maybe they just let him out real quick, right? Maybe he's just in there to answer some questions or whatever was happening and let him out. We can go by his place, see if he's there, and if not, then go to the Market District Guardhouse or whatever they were talking about.
All right.
All right.
Let's hurry if we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so y'all head back to the McDoonsley Bay residence. Okay. I will say, he did note that there's not like specific guardhouses for each district. It's that they're kind of peppered around so that there's an easy place to bring people. You know, like there's not like a bajillion of them. It's not quite like a Starbucks, but
They're more focused
not on every corner.
Than proper
Yeah,
distance.
exactly. It's not the district's guardhouse. These are guardhouses where people can be brought for holding, so that they're not having to drug right off the bat, like from the docks all the way to the jail and back. If it's some like piece of crap where you just need like a wrist slap and be like, hey, don't punch Jonathan in the fucking face, you dicks. Like, what the hell, dude? You're gonna cool off here for a few hours. We're gonna fine you, and then you're gonna go, so that you don't have to do all the way to the jail and back for every single kind of those kind of things.
All right.
Y'all
So
head off.
He did say the words. I didn't receive the message right, but he did say the words, I'm in jail, right?
He said jail.
yeah, he said he was in jail.
All right.
All right. So y'all
So we know where he's at.
head off once
Is that
more.
too much metagaming?
I-
or am I crazy
That's
here?
entirely up to you guys. I mean, y'all have
think
been
it's
to
metagaming.
one jail in this city so far.
Right.
I think it's more an issue of how do we show up and be like, yeah, we knew this motherfucker was here.
I just assumed that it was a loose terminology, as in I'm being apprehended by the authorities, is how Bart interpreted I'm in jail. Because
This can
Yeah.
be discussed amongst y'all. You can make your claim or thought.
My exact words were, jail, this sucks.
jail,
which
this
was
sucks.
which was in response to "Where are you?" or something along those lines.
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh.
why are we going everywhere? Again, are we trying to throw them off the trail? Is there any reason we're not going to the jail?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of jail. I mean, they got jails in all the guardhouses.
We've been to one.
All right. Well, they got
Don't
more
you
than
think
one.
Jakob would have used all the words he could have if he went anywhere else? How many
No.
words did he use?
He said, "Jail, this sucks."
What an idiot.
I mean, that's still
This
low.
is awesome.
My guess would be the jail, not just a holding cell, but I guess we'll know for sure if he's not at his house.
The cell, that little cell that was in there, did not look anything like the cells y'all were put in the actual jail. It was like clearly a very like temporary thing. You know, like the little brig that's in the bottom of the galleon in Sea of Thieves, Jones. Anybody who played that game with me remember what that was like? It's like that, but a little smaller. Like,
Yeah, I'm imagining like
it got like a little swingy door, and you get in there. It is literally just to have somebody there.
Yeah, I was kind of envisioning it the kind of way they have like the little cells in like old Western movies where it's like just a cage built into the wall,
Yes.
like an office room.
Exactly. That's basically
Like,
what
yep,
this is.
Here's my desk, and there's the bars
Yep.
we put.
That's
people behind.
y'all like stepped into this little guardhouse. There was like a couple of benches where there was some like a couple of like guardsmen that were chilling, as well as a couple of those runner fellows. Immediately to the right of that is a desk with a cage that guy was then deposited into.
Well, hell, I mean,
They didn't even have a mini fridge. Like,
I never been in a city this big before, so if jail's something different than a cage you put people in. I mean, if you know where to go, yeah, all right, let's just go there. Sorry, I didn't understand.
Let's check his house first. There's always the chance that he didn't get held for long. And I'd really rather not go back there if we don't have to.
Bart just kind of takes a minute and he's like, he thinks he doesn't say it aloud, but you can clearly see the expression on his face that Bart doesn't want to go back to Jakob's house either. Like, it's saying a lot about how weirded out Bart gets in Jakob's house that he'd rather sleep on a boat.
What's so wrong with his house, Bart?
It's a sad fucking place. That's what's wrong.
It's a house.
Houses can be sad.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I
This
guess
house is built on sadness.
You know that feeling you get when you look in Jakob's eyes? That's the same feeling I get looking at every square inch of Jakob's house.
You get kind of like a really intense look. Like, yeah.
Wow. So are to clarify for me?
Yes, we're going.
Are you going to his house? Okay.
His house, and then subsequently to the jail when we inevitably discover that he is not
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I will clarify. None of you guys have a key to his house.
I have a key to everything.
Listen, when
Saw
is,
that
when
work
is
out last time.
Picking lock ever been a bad play for us, especially in this
At
town?
least it's not in the middle of the day this time.
No. That's only locking houses back, which I will never do again.
On the plus side, at least if we do get caught, we'll get an escort to where Jakob's at.
Express pass.
I'm sure there'll be no more assassination attempts on us on our way to Jakob.
We get the peach pass, but to jail.
Straight to.
Oh no.
Now I play Monopoly. Go straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Oh, yeah, I mean, y'all gotta. I hope everybody's ready to roll some D6s and get out of jail. Anywho, you guys head off to
I
jail.
rolled doubles. I'm out of jail.
I'm out of jail. Woo! Good job, buddy. You're just released. They kept your weapons and armor, though. So, bit of walking, bit of wandering. You guys do make it to Jakob's house. It's dark. No lights.
After poking around for a minute and realizing he's not there, just
That door is
Res-
locked, son.
are we not checking inside?
I don't know.
Does a 19 unlock it? And I'll
19.
try to be stealthy about it.
19 does unlock it. No guards appear to be. Y'all wait till we're pretty sure there aren't any guards coming about.
It's dark. They can't tell you're not using a key.
Gloob just kind of goes up and much easier this time than when you were trying to relock the door before. It looks a lot more fluid rather than you're sitting there having to finagle with it. Obviously picking the lock. You just kind of
Like, looking at the house, though, and not even seeing any lights on or anything, like, Julian's already adopted just this, like, really flat, resigned kind of facial expression.
Gloob stops right when he unlocks the door.
Okay. So door's unlocked but not opened. You stood
Fuck.
at the threshold.
Look around us. Is there anybody watching us?
Julian will look around with his dark vision.
A quick perception check.
Bart, you're there too. Gloob's just unlocked the door to Jakob's house and then just stopped, said fuck, and then said, look around, is anyone following us?
This one is not a 19. It will be a 14.
Don't see anybody.
Yeah, I'll take a peek around as well if there's suspicion.
Go ahead and roll.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You look around. It's a good bit later into the night, and this is a more residential area. So looking around, there's some like torches casting some dim amounts of light at this time of the night, but you don't see anybody. Not anybody seems to be watching you guys anyway. Some people in the distance, you can hear some distant people making it home, maybe from a late night at the bar, but nobody's seen paying particular attention to you guys.
Well,
No.
I mean, if he's not here, let's just go. Let's just keep moving.
That's not what I'm talking about. He whistled for help, which means someone could have followed us straight here. Which means someone knows where Jakob's house is now.
We'd already been by,
Fuck.
not surreptitiously, several times.
Right.
You're right. Open the door and go in.
Alright. It's empty.
Jakob's there. It's a trick on us. Uh-huh.
He's been locked in his bedroom the whole time. No. It's empty. Lights are out. Even with some just with some passive perceptions, mostly Bart's, the stuff's definitely been like moved around.
Things look like they've been plundered through.
Not plundered. Definitely looked like it's been like I'm gonna say tossed, but not in such a way like that there's shit everywhere. But it definitely looks like stuff's been moved around.
Is there a liquor bottle on the dining room table?
Yes.
Well, that wasn't there. Now, I don't think Jakob would have drank any liquor. So the real question is who was over that Jakob gave liquor to?
Someone that got him in jail, clearly.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe somebody came out and they had a fight, and they took him to jail because he was having a fight with somebody. I don't know. But he says he's in jail, so he's not dead somewhere. So let's just go see what he's in jail for, I reckon.
Let's go either get him out or break him out.
Right. Well, I mean, I can break him out pretty easy, but I need to rest on it first.
Nods at that.
He
You
did
think
say it was
Jakob's gonna come with you?
I put him to sleep. I mean, I say that in character. I understand that it would take quite a few casts to sleep to put probably Jakob to sleep, but
I mean, the thing is, it doesn't stack per cast. That would have to be a hell of an upcast to
Yeah,
fucking
upcast.
sleep. You have to roll real good. Can you maximize sleep? Is that a thing you can do if you're a level 10 evocation wizard?
how many hit points does Jakob even have?
In the 60s.
60s.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He's got one more than I do, right? He's got 64 or something like that.
And you have a
Two,
fourth
I have
level
one less
slot?
than you.
Oh.
I still technically could cast one message to Jakob, but I still honestly don't know if we're going to get attacked by more sneaky snakes, and I want to be able to save that.
That's fair. Let's just go and see if we can get him out of there by tonight.
You'd have to roll very luckily on a 4th level cast of sleep to.
So that'd be what would that be? Like 98? I can't remember how many d8s it is at first level.
It's 11d8 if he does it at 4th level.
Oh wow. That's pretty good.
With a maximum hit point of 88.
So
It's
on
possible.
average, it would not put him to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I said. You'd have to roll well on a 4th level cast.
Or you could just beat the shit out of me before
And
you
then
cast
put
it.
him to sleep. Kick his ass. Incite a riot.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Go to sleep.
Can you do subtle damage with a spiritual weapon?
No, that does force damage. No, you cannot.
Just give him little taps.
I mean, that would be brutal. Like you're trapped in a jail cell and there's just a spiritual weapon
Can I
beating the
do-
shit out of you. Like,
Can I do non-fatal damage with disintegrate?
That's,
Can I just
yeah,
knock them out?
Can I just flay just the first layer off and then not actually kill them?
Can I do non-lethal
That's
damage with
exfoliate,
Eldritch
not
Blast?
Exfoliate.
Okay.
Sunburn with Fireball.
Now we're getting into like the cosmopolitan wizard,
All right.
and with a 4th level exfoliate.
Pretty good.
Comes out looking like an Instagram star.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So,
To the jail.
y'all are heading to the jail.
First off, are there any keys nearby? Is there like
To the house?
yeah, to the house. I don't want to.
No.
Okay. I just didn't know if Jakob had like one of those, trays next to the door or on the nightstand type kind of things, because I know it would be our absolute luck for us to just easily go get Jakob. Let's go back to his house to rest for the night after we've been up to all this shit, not have a key. Glue goes to break in, we get spotted, and go our ass to jail for the 3rd time in 24 hours.
There's no fake rock.
While that would be very funny, unless Jakob left his key, there's no extra key.
Okay.
That house has been empty for a while. His wife vacated. Probably didn't
Alright.
just leave things behind for her house to be broken into.
I didn't think about this before. Is there even a way to lock it without the key?
Like, is there like a deadbolt that you can shut
If we needed to leave, can we lock this type of lock
from the
behind us?
inside?
No, from the outside.
From the outside, Glue would have to.
Glue's not doing it.
Yeah, he left it unlocked. He must not care about his shit.
No, I unlocked it.
Glue
I'm okay with
unlocked it. He's
unlocking
just not relocking
I was
it.
about to say.
I unlocked it. I'm just not locking it back.
Yeah.
That was a misunderstanding for
They
me when I was.
they allowed him to lock his house back before taking him to jail. Like,
Okay.
they're not trying to leave it to be plundered. So you guys go back. You just leave the fucking door unlocked.
Glue's not doing anything about it.
Okay, reverse knock. Guess.
Yeah.
If anybody knows arcane lock, now would be the time. Anywho.
No, I don't
Knock
think.
on-
So I will point out, it is now like closing on like 11 o'clock at night at this juncture, because it was like the early night when y'all like still during like when people are going out and getting drank and stuff, and then y'all did your whole circuit and came back down, got attacked, and then spent like 2 hours and some change below.
Well, let's hurry.
So
Yeah, let's do this.
so y'all are just trying to beeline for the jail.
Yep.
Yeah. Joe ain't got shit to do. All of this is a waste of fucking time to him.
Hey man, be like that sometimes. Okay. Are you guys trying to avoid guards on the way there?
Fuck no. We got places to be. We hadn't done anything wrong.
Okay.
We just spoke to guards, so you didn't think
Yeah.
there's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just
Ridiculous.
spoke to guards who went straight there. So y'all are hauling ass towards the
Yeah,
center
a bunch of-
district
Armored people are sprinting through the street.
where
Sprint.
towards this. I would just like to
Not
elaborate.
sprinting,
This is
we're
the section
power
of town where all government is. This is where the barracks for the soldiers are. This is where the duke stays. This is where any dignitaries from like
Which I'm sure they'll
Keelan
be
stay.
happy to take us straight to jail once we get there.
I
Yeah,
just
that's
want to
the thing,
elaborate
it's like-
that this is not a place where civilians usually tread, especially at night. Like maybe if you're headed towards the jail or to like make a plea or whatever. Like you do business with government things, entities during the day. So
Ain't got time. Jail.
if y'all are just hauling ass,
Not physically running. I mean, not gonna see us like. But walking with a sense
Okay.
of purpose.
so y'all make it through the market ring actually without managing to encounter any guards. Like y'all are fairly noisy, but it seems to be that they just kind of are y'all's general movement here because you're going straight through that. Oh my god, this driving. Okay, there it went. Holy Christ, that noise just went on for almost the entire time I was just talking. But since y'all are actually not heading up into the wealthier parts of the market ring and you're just kind of walking straight through dockside, you're able to get through, and you actually don't run into anybody or into any guards that really have anything to say to you until you get into Crown Town. where it's not long before paraguards who are walking along says, hello,
Evening.
Evening.
good evening.
Hello.
What business do you have in the government quarter at night?
Jail.
Right.
You wish to go to jail?
We're checking on a friend in jail.
Right.
Well, unfortunately,
Bart looks super confused, like, is it fucking illegal for us to be here? Like, somebody really should have told me this shit.
well, it is almost midnight. If your friend is in jail, you'll have to go and see him in the morning.
We have business tonight.
Well, we're not quite sure if he's in jail or not. We just need to, if we could just go in and see if he's like on a list or see what happened. We have no idea what's going on. We're trying to get heads or tails of things. We're trying to, we got some places to be and a schedule to keep. And I mean, it just really, I mean, you can come with us if you want, just to make sure we're not up to any good. We don't mean anybody no harm. We're just trying to make sure that everything gets going on our plan. That's all.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
All right.
You do not get advantage because Julian is being obstinate, not particularly helpful. He's not being persuasive, just a dick.
The dice
Not
are
even
on
a
my
dick.
side. It was on a 1 and then teetered to 19, so 24.
Nice, very nice.
Julian's not being a dick. He is just, they get what authority he chooses to give them, and he has chosen to give them none.
It's not how that works, but okay. Thinks for a moment. Well, very well. We will accompany you to the jail. Determine if your friend is there, okay? And then we'll escort
All
you
right.
back out of the government district.
Sure, I understand. You got to do your job. I appreciate it so much.
Yes. All right, come along. He turns around with her partner and they walk y'all's happy asses to the jail. Yay.
Very
for
unhappy asses.
persuasion checks that are worth shit. So, not too much longer, y'all are able to get walked up to a familiar facade and are led in. Familiar front desk. As the female guard and her companion go walking up to the desk. These gentlemen are under the impression that a friend may or may not be here. So, if we could ease their minds, real quick, and you could check our list of whoever's currently in holding or in the cells. What was his name? Your friend's name?
Jakob.
Jakob. Last name? Surname?
McDoonslebe.
McDoonslebe. Jakob McDoonslebe. Dude, kind of. Here's some papers rustling behind the counter. Oh yeah, I'm one Jakob McDoonslebe. Just not too long ago got put in one of the cells.
What? For?
It looks legitimately confused.
He loves following the rules.
Well, no, this time apparently it was, let's see here. Is it says that we got him under investigation currently. Is listed.
There,
Current listed for incarceration.
there's not like a reason besides being under investigation that you go to jail.
Depending on, this was the one written for this is the reason given for him. So it could mean that he won't be in here for longer than a night. Depends on the investigation. That's why he's not in holding. They just went ahead and plopped him down somewhere he could sleep.
Can we talk to him?
No, this time no. We might during the day, perhaps morning.
Jakob's not okay all the time. But I just want to check on him, make sure he's doing okay.
We can have somebody go take a look, see.
We're his friends, we're his close friends.
I understand, but
And which means we know the things to say to him. You might say something to him, and I've seen the smallest things go wrong, and he'll run across the room in fear.
Right. I mean, he's been through a lot. He's been through a lot of stuff. He lost his daughter. Wife left him.
Just a few minutes.
Roll persuasion check, Gloob, with advantage.
Hey.
Since Bart was helping.
I was like, what? Did you just turn into a fucking zombie?
Just get a little constipated.
Bite out of the guy.
It's actually Raccoon City. It's the nickname of Seaton.
That's a natural 1 on the first one for a total of 2.
No.
The second one is a 16 plus 1 for a total of 17.
That's a lot better.
17 is a whole lot better than it.
It's a lot better than a natural 1. Is what that is. It's not a 2. It's a natural 1. It's different. You can have an unnatural 2. You can have a natural 2. You can have a super unnatural 2 where it was like a 4 down to a 2. But it was 17. Dude kind of sits there and thinks for a second. Kind of rubs his jaw like where he's got some scruff going on. Hell. Look, I'll take one of y'all back there and talk to him for a few minutes, alright? That's it.
Bart, you should go.
Alright, sure.
Alright. Now, sit tight. Stands up. Takes you back. Bart into back through the doors that are kind of off to that left of that. Got fucking desk, front reception area thing. Takes you down back towards the cells proper. Going through a few of them. Go past a few. Before coming to a closed door and going shoo. Everything. We're doing Shalibay. Hey.
Stands up.
Hey, you all right, Jacob? What happened?
Art. Oh, it's so good to see that you're alive.
Yeah?
Is everybody else okay?
Yes, absolutely. Why would they be in any danger?
Well, you know.
Nope. Just visiting a friend in town, you know?
Okay.
Is it alright if we sleep in your house tonight? With you not being there?
Yeah, of course.
Alright, are you okay? I assume they're just letting you out for tomorrow. Did you do anything wrong? What happened?
Oh, well, they thought that I was a part of some, I think, violence down wherever the violence happened. I can't fucking remember.
Can I roll an insight check on Jakob to see if I can see why they would possibly think that we were a part of that violence?
That's between you two.
I don't know if you're trying to be like, oh yeah, they just
I didn't tell him nothing.
I mean, Jakob is getting the sense that you don't want, that Bart doesn't want Jakob to, you know, connect them to anything. But he wouldn't hide that he's been honest with the police or the soldiers guard.
So, I guess does it seem like Jakob is informing things, and that's why he's here? I guess is what I'm asking. Oh, let me roll a check first. It's a 21.
That is a lot to infer.
Does Jakob seem slightly guilty for being in jail?
That seems a little more apt.
Jakob will seem guilty, but not for being in jail.
Okay.
So he seems guilt-ridden about something.
All right. So they thought that you were involved in some type of tussle in this part of town?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, This guard knows why you're here, or has it written down somewhere. I mean, just be honest.
This dude is still
Why-
standing like right behind you, Bart. He didn't leave.
Yeah.
Like, he's hanging out.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, I told him that y'all were looking for someone.
Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah. That we were looking for someone. Okay. Well. All right.
And I guess they're holding me because they found a lot of blood in the street.
Right. Understandable.
Which obviously I would hope that they wouldn't think that I would do that, especially since I was nowhere nearby. But I don't know.
I assume they're under the assumption that you probably know whoever's involved in something like that, and that's why you're being held then?
I guess I figured they would want to keep me for more information if I had it.
Okay. Are you doing all right in there? Yeah. Getting some rest?
Not terribly. All right. I'm gonna be honest with you, Bart. I took a drink.
Took a drink.
Yeah. I had when we found the me and the guard found all that blood. Is a lot of blood. And she had told me that y'all were dead and that it was my fault. That kind of got to me. So we went back to my house to look and see if y'all were there, and you weren't. And I couldn't stand something happened to y'all and me not being there to have done everything to make sure that y'all were all right.
Yeah, that's
and,
fine. Hey, it happens.
I'm sorry, Bart.
You didn't let me down, son. You're all right. I had a little bit of a drink. It was a mistake. It happens.
It won't happen again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oops. Tear.
Hey, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Well, we want to try and get you out tomorrow, you know? Make sure this is all cleared up.
That would be nice.
And who was the woman that you talked to in your house?
She was part of the guard. I don't think I actually ever got her name.
You didn't.
Huh?
You didn't.
She was a very nice elf lady.
I'm gonna look towards the guard. Does that ring any bells?
I don't claim to know every member of the guard. He was brought in a bit ago. Sergeant who works over other side of up over the market ring. I think she was on duty is where she said she picked him up from.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, we should be able to get this cleared away tomorrow, lickety split, no big deal.
I'm sure if y'all talk to Captain Garthen, then you might be able to do something.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
On speaking terms with Captain Garthen.
We've spoken before.
That is one way.
Make that an intimidation check there, Bart. Yeah, goddamn right. Does that change the situation?
He just kind of raises an eyebrow and is like, under
We spoke to him. We
what
already spoke to him
circumstances?
earlier today. It was involving an investigation. That's all I really. That's all I can say at the moment.
Secret police.
Deception check 22.
Okay. All right. Well.
Needless to say, I mean, I know you got rules to follow, so I'm not going to ask you to do nothing that you can't do. I know you can't let my friend down, but we're going to, we'll be back here to get him out. Don't you worry about it. How long are you going to be on duty, son?
Probably next few hours, I expect. So we'll take over for the morning.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking me back here to see my friend. Calm him down a little bit. Seems like he's a little riled up.
Yeah, well, people get shook up sometimes. So.
Right.
Let's go.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And
Shoot.
I'm just.
Knock on the. You have a good night, yeah.
I'll yell through the door. Thank you, Bart.
Come on now.
If you can hear.
Shouldn't have you back here anyway. Come on.
Okay. So. This guy's got any keys on him?
Yeah, seems that. I mean, he seems to have a ring of keys. All right.
I'm not rolling slide.
Okay, that's what I was like. That's about to be impressive. But all right, so he takes you back out. Well, like I said, your buddies talk to him, and I'll be able to come back in the morning.
That
we'll
so much.
Wrap everything up, I'm sure.
A good one, through and through. All right. Well, yeah, I guess we'll go back out with the rest of the fellas. I'm like, okay, well, we got everything situated and squared away. Appreciate y'all escorting us here so much. I'm guessing y'all gonna want to walk us back out of the whole area here.
Yes. Yeah, we'll take you.
Okay.
Take you back towards the civilian districts.
I don't want to interrupt the.
Were you wanting to do something? Okay.
Not physically, but he is absolutely casing the fuck out of this place. Because he doesn't know how well the conversation's going back there. He's like, all right, in case we got to break back in.
I mean, there's quite a few guards in this building.
But I meant making sure that he had an understanding of at least this area's layout, windows, doors.
I mean, it's not particularly complex. Like, you have the double doors y'all came in. Off to the left, you have the holding cells where y'all were initially taken before. You were at a reception desk. There appears to be a closet or a door of some kind, like, off behind this reception desk. Off to the right, there are a couple more doors coming down that way. These ones are not open face. They're also not behind another gate, like the holding cells are. The holding cells are through another gate, then to the holding cells. Off to the right, there seem to be a couple of other larger rooms. You see some guards coming in and out a couple times in there, and then there's that passageway that Bart and the guardsmen went, heading off towards the cells as well as interrogation rooms and all that fun stuff.
Right. I mean, he's just trying to commit the details to memory so that if they get out and it's like, all right, y'all, we to get back and break him in or break him out.
Break him in. Yes. Put him back in jail. Get him back in there. Okay.
Are you done? Sorry.
I mean, that was basically it. Like, so that if they needed to plan, he'd be like, all right, well, there's a window overlooking this area, and the door swings inward here, etc., etc.
Yeah. The place isn't terribly complicated, but okay. What's up, Glue?
If does this guy that walked us here and is talking about walking us back, does he look? He's stationed in the Crown District. Does he look any more like well stationed above the regular beat guards that we've been encountering, or he's just
this lady and her partner, they don't seem any different. I mean, that is the thing. Like I said, marked difference between these guys and the guards that y'all had in Seaton. These guys look more like soldiers than just like militia. Right. These guys are armed for bear, very similarly to how the soldiers that the smaller cadre of soldiers that Firebrand had with him that were actual Crown soldiers.
Yeah, these
Right.
aren't peasants who were given
Yeah.
a crash course.
These
in how to use
seem
a
almost
spear.
like you know like you've been told at least a couple of times, and your buddies and Jakob and Julian have informed you guys at least that the vast majority of the crown's like soldiery in this kind of district of of Kieland is located within Seaton. So they basically don't have regular cops. They have soldiers that this is part of the job that they do here is they do the guarding.
Right.
So these guys are in
All right.
like chainmail and like these guys are pretty heavily kitted out.
Gotcha. So I'll turn to the one that escorted us here. So, who's in charge of who can have him released as soon as possible? Just who is that? I know who's that person we need to talk to have that done.
Well, it would depend on who the investigation that's being performed on, what evidence is against him. Ultimately, Captain Gotham is over these things. Ultimately, he would be the one who would have to go through the least red. We don't have tape. Red silk, red ropes.
Red silk sounds like
Red
a
silk.
completely different
That
thing.
sounds very. I think that's a district in a farther northern city. Very good time if you're ever there. But there's less formalities that he would have to go through. He could more directly release your friend, probably.
Okay. This is irregular. I know it is. It's out of the norm, but you're only watching over Seaton, right? You don't help people abroad.
Define abroad. We are soldiers of the crown of Kieland.
Outside of Kieland.
Unless ordered otherwise, no.
Okay. We do.
Good
So-
for you.
No. Okay, well that's kind of insulting, but what I'm saying is we know of someone that is in danger right now outside of Keelan, and we are trying to help them. So, Jakob is supposed to help us with this, and he's in here for no reason. He'll be released tomorrow morning, but tomorrow morning may be too late for this person. Is there anything that we can do or that you can do to help us get him out of here tonight?
He was incarcerated for presumably legitimate reasons. If he is under investigation, then it is because he's possible innocence. But we have to investigate. Look, if you have your own agenda, but if he has broken laws here within Seaton, then he cannot just walk away. We cannot let him go just because he has other priorities.
Jakob likes you guys so much. I guarantee there's no way he broke a law. Something happened along his walk. I don't know what happened, but he wouldn't have done it.
I do not have the authority to free him.
I understand you don't, but if you could just get us the person to talk to that does. Let us plead our case in front of that person tonight. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for you to break rules here, but I am asking for just a conversation with the person that can let him out tonight.
Roll persuasion check at disadvantage.
Can I guide him?
You are still talking, I believe.
You're talking to
Yeah,
Jakob.
You're still in there talking to Jakob.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
12 plus 1.
That's at disadvantage? Oh.
Do what? Yeah,
Oh,
I haven't rolled the second
Oh,
side
gotcha,
yet.
gotcha.
And then 19 plus 1, so 12
Okay, so
plus
12
1 for a total of 13.
13. That is not something that is within my power to do, unfortunately. And
Is there anyone that we can talk to that is within their power to do? You got your sign-up books. I don't get them, but I know you got them. But we have to have that conversation because someone may die.
those don't specifically function in the evening. People that you are seeking to speak to are not present at this time. They are not here. They are sleeping.
Do you have
Probably.
family? Because this is family we're talking about dying.
You stop?
Let us plead our
The other
case.
guard's like, "Come on, man, give him, He's like, "We'll just stop a conversation over here."
Look, if you know who brought him in, perhaps. If there are, I'm just, I am not, I have no rank, I have no authority outside of what is given to me by the crown upon citizenry and to enforce its laws. If there's someone with rank that you could convince, perhaps they could more feasibly call up Gothman at this hour.
Okay.
That's probably your best bet, but I wouldn't keep my fingers crossed.
Okay.
Julian will send a mental message to him.
We can begin extracting my family without Jacob. We may not be able to leave from my brother's till he's out. But that part wouldn't be until tomorrow anyway. If they delay us more tomorrow, then there will be a problem.
I got a question
Yes.
before Bart leaves. Did they take my ring?
It's jewelry. They left it on you, but they took arms
Okay.
and armor.
Okay. And I'm fine.
Good.
Yeah, your brother. What do you mean we can begin the extraction of your brother without Jakob? How?
Not my brother. The rest of my family. They need to be gotten to safety before we go herring across the ocean anyway.
Okay. We can't leave here without Jakob, though.
Couldn't go far now.
All right, we'll just wait until Bart arrives.
A couple minutes later, Bart is led back out by the gentleman who's manning the desk. Y'all are reunited.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's in there. They took him out of his armor and got his weapon and stuff, and he's seems to be all right. Said
What in the hells do they have him in there for?
an elf lady took him in under suspicion that he might have had some kind of involvement with some things that were going on that night.
He like kind of opens his mouth, then just stops. Side eyes the guard. Stops.
This is raised eyebrows.
Where do we find this elf lady?
She was part of the market district. He said. I assume she's got a signature on whoever brought him in or something like that if there's an investigation.
So one who brought him in have authority.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just kind of like looking around whoever initially opened up that file to see that Jakob was there.
He had like a sheet that of like, this person was brought in here, like for this exact reason of that, like if people were checking, like, yep, they're here. This is why. This is the reason given for their incarceration. But
there's not like a signature of like the person who put them in jail.
Not on that sheet that he has.
Okay.
This is simply a list of the incarcerated.
All right. Y'all know of an elf woman who works in the market districts on evenings?
Maybe someone brought in.
Right.
Sounds like one of the I was telling you. Sounds like it's probably one of the sergeants over presumably of one of the guard stations over that way.
Sounds like this person could have been an impersonator.
No.
They could have pretended to be a guard and just brought him in.
No.
How do you know I'm not a guard in civilian outfit?
I think y'all should come back in the morning. Check on your friend.
Hopefully we're back.
Gotham should be around. Easy as pie. If you are so certain of his innocence, I'm sure it'll be a breeze.
Absolutely. Yeah, before you know it.
We'll be back soon, Jakob. Creeping down the fucking hallway.
With your passive, Jakob, you don't hear that, unfortunately, through the door and everything. Down the halls, through the door.
Hear the sound of his muscles creaking while he does push-ups.
My fucking camera will not chill out. Oh my god. Anywho.
Jakob actually would be in bed after talking
so you've
to
you kind of crashed out. All right. So the lady and her partners. So escort you back out of the governmental district, if you would.
Well, shit. I guess let's go to the damn market district and find a female elf lady. It's part of the guard, so we can talk to her.
Jakob didn't get her name?
No, we did not.
Nope. I asked, the other guard didn't. You know, I mean, there must be a whole legions of guards in this city for them. Just trails off in thought of wondering what percentage of the city are just guards for the city. They don't know anybody.
There can't have been that many arrests of enormous armored figures.
Right, exactly. I'm sure they'll know. We just gotta find a guard lady that works there. I'm assuming if, you know, these guard stations, they got shifts, they at least know who relieved them or something like that.
We know
Julian's gonna turn and go ahead and start walking out.
Time is short.
I was assuming we were having.
Yeah, I figured this was a walk and talk.
Okay, I thought y'all were like stopping in the lobby and Julian was just kind of like.
Yeah. No,
I don't think we should have this conversation around the guards escorting us out of the district.
Yeah, this is at the outside of the Crown District.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like,
Noted.
walking towards the tree we saw him last at.
Okay. So, well, they initially escort you back out, kind of leading you guys on that very edge of dockside. If I could actually get a round of perception checks from the three of you real fast.
Sure.
Ooh, 18 plus 4 for 22.
Nice.
Same thing for 26.
26. Ooh.
Okay, 14 plus 3 for a 17.
17. Okay. All three of you actually, because this isn't that hard to see. So 15 and up, basically. There's a bright light off to y'all's right, which would be, oh god, I haven't looked at that map in forever.
Sure.
That'd be-
A direction.
Yeah, off to y'all's
A direction.
right. Y'all are facing the sea to your right.
Okay.
Actually, in the direction of, because why not? Y'all rolled really good. In the direction of the guardhouse y'all visited earlier tonight.
A bright light like a fire or a bright
After a
light
few
like...
moments, yeah, something's on fire over that way.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And shortly following that, you guys are picking up the sounds of distant yelling.
What? Already jogging in that direction.
And that's where we're going to take a break. So, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. Thank you guys so much for coming here, being here with us to observe tonight. Shit's going on, so we'll see how things pan out. We're going to be right back. Going to take a quick bio, stand up, stretch your legs, do some toe touches, refresh drinks, all that fun stuff. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Bye. Hello, and welcome back. We return once more with another half of this here Gosm. The ghost of the Saltmarsh, ghost of Seton Marsh, ghost of Seton, Gauze. It's just Gauze now. For the moment. And then it'll just be Goshen.
Are we ghosts?
Goshen. Ghosts of Ocean. Ghost of, I think it's the
Goo?
Azure Sea. I can't 100% remember the sea that y'all are next to. That's where we're just gonna have to change the title every time y'all start to spend long periods of time in places that aren't Saltmarsh. Because it just stops
Definitely
making
not
sense.
Goshen.
The Goshen.
No, let's not
Goshen. The ghosts of ocean. Just
All
goo.
right.
What about goo?
Goo.
Anywho. Welcome back, everybody. This first half of this session, our brave adventurers ventured about. They decided that they were gonna toss off their captive, and in hopes of what?
That was quite a phrase.
Toss off their captive, like toss them over to their to the guards.
That's exactly right.
What? I don't know what you said, but y'all gave him to the guards, saying that he had tried to mug you guys or murder you or whatever. You weren't quite sure, but not at the jail. You just gave it to him at some guard station. Guard kind of questioned you. Was like, oh, okay, well, let you guys know that, well, he would be taken in if y'all would just stick around for the next few days to make sure that if y'all need to be called in for further kind of questioning about the incident, or to be let know that y'all were good to go, he had been handled, found guilty, etc., etc., just stay nearby and let them know where you're staying. Additionally, you let him know that you guys couldn't find your friend, if he could maybe start a missing persons kind of thing going on for him, and so he said he would do so, looking around for one Jakob McDoonslibe. Y'all then went back to Jakob's house to make sure he wasn't there, just in case he was not. He then proceeded to turn around and went back into Crown Town, ran into some guards who were like, we'll escort you to check on your buddy, possibly, if he is indeed at jail. Jakob was at jail. Bar was able to convince the guard to let him back there and chat with Jakob for a few minutes, make sure that he was okay. Actually, I'm sorry, Gloob convinced them. Sorry, y'all traded back and forth. Gloob convinced the guard there to let Bart back to chat with Jakob for a few minutes, just check up on him and maybe see why he was in jail. Bart checked on Jakob. Jakob more or less conveyed that he was in jail for being suspected of being involved with the ruckus that they had caused downtown. They then exited after some attempts to hurry the process along to maybe be able to get him out tonight, which unfortunately was not quite successful. That they would have to come back in the morning, hopefully be able to talk to Captain Garthen to secure Jakob's release. On their way out, they were intending to go maybe find the elvish sergeant who had brought Jakob in, who was over on the other side of the market ring from where they had been previously, and shortly after being escorted back out of Crown Town into Dockside, they saw the light of flames in the direction of the guardhouse they had left their charge, and the distant sounds of raised voices and running. Gentlemen, what are y'all doing?
Initially, Julian takes several steps in that direction.
And it's not like a roaring fire, like y'all can see the building, but you can see in the distance, outlining some of the other buildings. What is clearly pretty easy to determine, especially Julian, with your passive survival. I'm gonna say it's like something's on fire over there.
Does it seem pretty obvious that it's the guardhouse that we were at earlier?
I'd say you could probably extrapolate. It's in that direction. I guess it could just be a house fire. Who knows? But I'll say it's easy enough for you to go. That's the same direction that the guardhouse we were at earlier was in.
Be quite the coinkydink.
Right. Y'all see there's a fire going on over there, right? Y'all have a brigade set off for that, or how's this town work?
You're talking to the guards?
Yeah.
Y'all had gone a few steps past before seeing that, and they come stepping up and around. Word should be spreading. We should actually spread the word around ourselves and start getting people. There should be pretty quick response to a house fire.
I'm pretty
But,
sure it's
yes.
not a house fire. You should be more expedited about it
Th-
right now.
there should be quite a few guards already on their way. We'll just be spreading the word, as it were.
I got a pretty keen eye. I'm sure that is the guardhouse.
We have more than one.
Okay.
And she turns around and says, "We, like, as you say, gotta spread the word." And she kind of, her and her buddy kind of go splitting off into a couple directions within Crown Town.
Are there like bells or anything going off?
Gloob is gonna call out to them before they split directions. Are one of you gonna let Captain Garthman know?
Probably.
Where's he stay? We can let him know
It'll
right
reach
now.
up a chain. They're still running. Barely
they're
slowed
running.
down. Yeah, like they're gonna spread the word, and it's a ripple effect. It'll reach who needs to be told. Most immediate concern is stopping the fire itself.
Is there a part of town to where we would imagine a high-ranking person of the guard might be? Like might
Probably
reside?
somewhere within Crown Town, yeah.
Probably somewhere within Crown Town. And how big is Crown Town, would you say? Like an area?
It's pretty sizable. I mean, like, so you have, like I said, you have.
If I had locate objects prepared as a spell and it has a 1,000-foot range,
you'd probably have to wander around a bit, but I mean, it'd cover a sizable chunk, but it would not cover the entirety by no stretch.
When you say a sizable chunk, you mean like a fourth or like 2/3?
Neither of those.
Okay, so not
You'd
even
have
that much.
yeah, you'd have to run. It'd probably be closer to maybe a fifth. This is not this is a pretty. This is a city.
But is there a more residential side of Crown Town, or is it split up?
You
into,
have
like,
not
different
been
sides?
through most of it. Y'all have been to the jail.
Okay. Fucking Jakob's in jail, so I can't even ask the person that would know.
I mean, like there are barracks. There are other there's the Duke's. Y'all went outside the kind of the Duke's area, like his manse kind of thing that he's got going on, but maybe he makes his place there. You're not, he's the captain of the guard, but you don't know how high ranking that actually means here. He's in charge of the guards. How important that is within Seaton, who knows?
What area of town were we in?
Y'all just got spat back out around.
They just got set on fire. What area of town?
It was
that?
y'all. That was still in the dockside. That was one of the dockside guardhouses, but a little kind of. So, I really should have drawn up a map of Seaton for y'all, but so this is the ring, right?
Mhm.
This side. So over here was where y'all had been before you looped back down for your ambush plan. A little over. This side is where Jakob's house is. About in between there is where the guardhouse was. And then y'all are a little up here on the edge of Crown Town.
Okay.
So it's closer to Jakob's house, but it's still on dockside.
All right. Well, fellas, I can use all the biggest juice I got to try and send a message to what's his name? Garth, right?
Garthman.
Garthman. I have it written down.
Garthvin.
Garthman. I can try and use the rest of what I got to send a message to Garthman and see if we can't push this back in our direction. But that's all I know to do right now. I feel like if we let this kind of play out any other way than we're trying to be helpful, we're just going to end up like vigilantes that are fucking this town up.
At this point, y'all are hearing more like you're starting to see guards like running across, and like the distance sounds of like some ringing alarm bells, as this is not like the attention of this is now like fully and being spread about.
If that is your last bit of resource, you would not be able to reach out to my wife.
No, I wouldn't.
Are we not
But
planning
in
on
case
contacting
you
her
didn't
tonight?
in case you didn't understand what was going on, Jakob was cooperating with the police to try and find out what happened to us. And that's why he's in jail. Because he said, hey, I was trying to have a street brawl with some folks so we could question them.
For fuck's sake. I'm uncomfortable with the idea of my wife and son staying in the city for another evening.
So here's the plan. That place is burning down right now. They're getting a lot of help. I doubt we'll be able to get more help to them quicker than they can get there at this point. But
It's very loud.
We got helping them, it could be a good cover.
Right. If we're helping them, absolutely. I mean, I would like to help.
They said forget helping them. It could be.
Oh. Yeah.
Guard's eye drawn to the fire. Potential murder of the prisoner.
If
be looking at us.
Right. Well, I mean, we set them there. I don't think they'd imagine that we'd be a suspect for trying to kill them. But the simple fact of the matter is that, I mean, if we show up there after everything that they know from Jacob and the events of the previous night, it's definitely going to come back on us. And that's definitely going to reflect poorly on us getting Jacob out. If that place burns up, then maybe if there's any writing or evidence or notes that the folks on guard that night took out about us trying to find a Jacob and all that type kind of thing might get just mixed up in the whole kerfuffle. But yeah, do something. I don't know.
God, I hate this man. Alright.
Which one's that one?
Guardsman.
Guardsman, right. We gotta get Jacob out somehow. And right now, we don't really have a prisoner that we can say, hey, you know, we did the right thing in any case.
So
and I don't think...
to the fire.
I don't know what to do. I'm trying to have a conversation with y'all about this.
Time is shorter for helping at the fire. We need to go right now.
Let's chat while we get there then.
Jogging along, I guess. Or unless Gloob is pulling us in another direction.
No, Gloob will just kind of quietly go along.
I'm compelled to try and help these folk out, but I don't know if it'll reflect poorly on us. Yeah.
We're just trying to help people, and that's not a lie.
Oh, I agree.
To the fire we go.
All right.
Yeah. Jig jogging along.
Oh,
Pitter patter, pitter patter.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. Alrighty. So, hustling y'all's ways on over there. Y'all are not alone in y'all's movement over there. It's not long before y'all see that there are guards, but there are also citizens. Like, there are people who have been aroused that are coming up. You see buckets as you get closer. People are getting buckets, filling them from wells that are nearby, or filling them from personal like water barrels that they have closer by. And around the time you'll get there, it takes you a few minutes. This was not a enormous fire, and it seems already like it's being brought under control. As it took y'all a few minutes over there, it looks like it had spread a little bit to some nearby buildings. Thankfully, the guard station, which is burnt to a crisp, or is still actively smoldering, but it is still actively burning. They have isolated the flames that had started to spread, that had leapt a little bit to some of the nearby buildings. But people are still actively moving to and fro rapidly, kind of making sure. You see people checking roofs, people moving out farther, people moving up, making sure that it didn't leap anywhere else.
Yeah, as we're going over there, I would use light on the crystal end of my mace to sort of create some vision as we're running through, so that we're not sprinting through the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done. My bad.
And like when we get there, I just would like to see if there are any visual areas to where anyone's hurt or harmed or anything like that.
Make a quick perception check for me as you come running up.
Yeah.
while he was doing that, DM, probably simultaneously, he's checking on for injured people. Julian is trying to like scan the rooftops with his, and like see like any like skulkers basically.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
24 for me.
Plus
Nice.
3, let's go. Oh, that is a nat 20.
Nice.
Fantastic.
23.
Okay, so 24 first, since that was our first check. As you come around up, it does appear you see some people that are kind of off to the side. Some nursing burns. Most of them nursing burns. Some coughing, seeming to be coughing smoke. Mostly some guardsmen who appear to have been the first responders to this event. But also a handful of citizens. So it looks like a couple, maybe that are nursing some arms or fingers that maybe something fell on them, or maybe they tripped, or maybe they got just in the rush of things. Maybe they got crushed by various and sundries. But they're all actually kind of being cordoned off to one side. You see somebody kind of going around giving some first aid, seeming to trying to wrap some bandages around open wounds, and somebody else trying to set what looks like a broken arm and the like.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an area already kind of set up to where that stuff's happening, I'll go up there and render aid on them. And if there's any grievous looking injury, I will try to hit them with some magical healing.
Okay. So as you're doing some of that, nothing appears to be grievous. I will say, with your 24, nearby to where people are being treated for wounds, there do appear to be several, at the very least, several bodies that have been laying that are not moving and they're not being tended.
Are they like covered up, or?
They appear to kind of like their faces have been covered, but I mean, they just with like some of their clothing that was on them, like jackets or like the motherfucking things that you put over your head. They got like the crown on your chest.
Tabard?
Cloak?
Tabard. There we go. Like, tabards
okay.
have been kind of moved to kind of cover the faces of the dead and stuff, but they're laid out in a row, just a handful that you can see right this moment.
Two quick questions.
Sure.
Do either any of the dead bodies look like the guy we brought in or the guy that questioned us? From what I can tell.
From what you can tell, definitely none of them look like the guy you brought in. Could very well be the guy who asked questions. You're not quite sure. They are, like I said, their faces are covered. They do all appear to be guardsmen.
I mean, yeah, like I didn't know if there was like, yeah, you got questioned by a dwarf, and there's a clearly dwarven body.
Like I said, the dude who questioned you guys was a half-elven man. And I mean, there's probably there's probably one of those figures is probably shorter, maybe dwarvish, but the other two appear to be medium-sized creatures. 23 for our 2023 for that perception check. Looking around, you scan the rooftops, and you have to pause and wait and look a few times, Julian, because there are some figures that are moving about on roofs. Okay, you didn't freeze very long, but from your keen eyes and your keen perceptions, everybody that you do see moving around on the rooftops does appear to be actively searching for spreading flames. Nobody appears to be skulking.
All above board individuals.
Yep. As best as you can tell with a natural 23.
He's not saying anything. It was just keeping an eye on it while
Yeah,
he means.
absolutely. So you're kind of scanning those rooftops, just kind of, and like I said, with your natural 20, you're stopping and watching like each individual up there, and watching them to make sure they're doing whatever it is they're doing for every person, making sure like nobody's like faking a task to kind of to skulk by. But so you're kind of working your way along those people who are kind of, several of whom are kind of coming up and down and such. Glib, is there anything you're doing in particular, buddy?
Yeah, I'll as I see people kind of going back and forth from one of the water barrels with the buckets and whatnot, especially the ones that are going up, to make sure that everything's out up top from where it leaped over. I'll someone who just looks particularly winded, I'll just grab their bucket, like I'll take it from here, and I'll scoop up a bucket and I'll just climb up the side of the wall, straight towards wherever I see any embers or fires or anything, and
so you're
start helping.
Doing the same? Okay, sure. And somebody gladly enough, hands it off to you, just kind of, alright, and just kind of steps away while
I don't know if
you
you'll
take over.
like let me fill up my stomach and lungs with water as well and go up there so I can have a bucket and just spit a whole bunch of water on it.
You could definitely fill your mouth,
Okay.
but I don't know how that would work very well. Like, fill it. Would you want to make yourself vomit on the fire?
Pretty much.
I
Just be like a couple of gallons.
You can
extra.
certainly try. If you would like to do so. I mean, hey, why not? This is D&D.
So yeah, that's what I'll be
Okay,
doing.
sure. People look at you a little weird when you start vomiting on bits of fire, but actually just roll a quick perception check once you get up there for me. I'll just see how successful you are in spotting the
7.
7. You're struggling. You mostly end up kind of going and tossing it onto what the remains of the guardhouse as it's continuing to burn. Most people have kind of it's been deemed a lost cause, so mostly people are making sure that it doesn't spread, keeping the areas around it wet, so you're tossing your water like on those nearby rooftops to make sure nothing else jumps.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on where the people are taking the fire. They know how to deal with this stuff. I grew up in a marsh. Fire wasn't a huge issue.
That's fair. So, all right. So Glib, you're sitting there keeping on helping. Bart, you're able to. Some people you kind of figure maybe they're milking it a little, but with how bad they're hurting, nobody appears to be gravely injured. It looks like definitely one of those that this fire. It seems like it was pretty fierce there at the guardhouse, but due to the location that was burned, it wasn't given too much of an opportunity to spread horribly far because guard station is a little isolated, away from the other buildings. But just some people who maybe some younger folks who maybe were being a little overzealous in their attempts at heroism in a time of crisis seem to have suffered the worst. But
does there seem to be a burnt body in the cage, or is the cage? I assume the cage is still standing. It was metal bars, right?
The fire is still actively burning. So
Okay.
It'd be kind of hard to tell.
Gotcha.
Once it's confirmed to his peace of mind at least, that there's no one skulking on the rooftops, he will direct his attentions towards the presumably dead to see if their captive is among them.
Yeah. Like I said, easy enough to see just without having to roll anything. That none of them are garbed similarly. All their faces appear to be covered one way or the other, but they all do appear to be guardsmen.
Okay.
So, over probably the next 20-25 minutes or so, that fire does start to die down and finally die out. As it goes down.
I would assume by this that my healer's kit's probably done.
How many charges did you have?
Probably, I think only like 4. So
yeah, I'd say with 4, that just kind of treating various and sundry burns and some couple like broken fingers and bones and stuff that you kind of you'd run through what you got left, kind of maybe give it a few extra painkillers to somebody's being a little overly dramatic maybe, but better safe than sorry.
I see Bart once I'm done helping with that, and see him like shake his healer kit upside down as obviously you would do. I'll go grab one of the 4 that we have in the fucking bag of holding, hand it over to you.
We have a lot.
Oh,
y'all have
keep
a lot.
on going then.
I'd say by that time you're between what you brought to the table and what these guys had already. They're probably pretty good. Okay. Like I said, most of these injuries occurred because they were being kind of fucking stupid. But I said about 20-25 minutes later or so, things have really kind of finally started to settle down. More guards kept showing up as time went on and basically got told, like, it's been handled. But
could it be possible to keep an eye out for any female elven guards?
Female Elven guards and Garthman. I was about to
Yes.
ask the same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, both you go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
28. That's 20.
Very nice.
14 with a natural 10.
That's still, hey,
Pressure's on
that's on the double digits.
Pressure's on the two of you to get your natural 20s in before the night.
Ain't looking too good for me.
I'd like to roll for prison. Natural 20.
Dude, you're getting
Whoa,
jacked
whoa, whoa,
in
whoa,
there.
whoa. You're in jail right now. Don't roll a natural 20 for prison. What did you do? I was in too long. I bit one of the guards. They took me to prison.
What's the capital of Keeland?
Who knows? Don't worry about it.
One of
Who
them.
fucking knows?
Keo Prime.
Alright. Taking
But-
off the Keo Prime. Cannon.
Anywho.
Neil draw, actually.
I mean, I will say with that, I mean, there are probably a handful of female elves
That are guards.
that are guards. Yeah, there are probably a handful of female guards that are elves, just by the numbers. None that appear to be in charge of anything. I'll
That
say.
doesn't have any type of authority.
Yeah,
to
they,
them.
the ones that you see do appear to just be regular guardswomen. However, Garthman does show up, looking none too pleased, and
Oh,
definitely,
good day. Golly gee, what a coincidence.
definitely seems like he got woken up.
Okay. Shit, I've already rolled a perception check to the 14.
I'll say with a 14, I mean the thing is he doesn't wear standard guard wear, like he has rank, right? Like he stands out. So I'll say with a 14 that you would have spotted him, just not quite as immediately as Bart did. Bart saw him like as he walked up. It takes you a minute until you spot him like actively like talking to some of the guardsmen.
As soon as Gloob sees him, we'll pick his bucket back up and keep working. Like, let's just climb up on this wall and then, yeah, Bart, you good down there? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Just fucking looking over towards him.
We are helping.
I see that.
Doing Sorolali's work.
Right.
Julian's probably hanging out by Bart, helping
Julian's
a little bit.
vibing,
He'll help Bart a little bit.
having a smoke, staring at the fire,
I just imagine,
looking a little too intensely at what's left.
just imagine Julian just rapping over. It's okay. You'll be all right.
You're gonna be fine.
I'm
Ah!
imagining Julian like having a cigarette and then flicking the fucking butt of the cigarette into the fire, like that we're actively trying to put out.
Imagine he's giving it like firebug eyes. He's just like, that's a nice fire.
Oh no.
Looking like you like that fire a little too much.
He looking at it like, why
Yeah,
you
y'all
gotta
don't-
do this to me?
No,
Fire?
nobody here can cast fireball, so you're good. None of you have the firebug curse yet.
That's another campaign.
Bum bum. Anywho, so if y'all don't do anything in particular to get Garthvin's attention,
Well,
I
it's
assume-
definitely for Garthvin's attention right there, as I'm climbing on the side of the building, dumping
Holy
a bucket
shit.
of water out,
Well,
and
with a 19 on his perception check as he kind of surveys the situation. 19 on the dice, I would like to specify, plus bonuses. He
Which
does. It looks like he looks like he's questions like his initial group, like some of the initial guards that come up to him. Some of them look like that they have some sort of rank, but maybe they're sergeants looking similar in dress to the gentleman who questioned you guys, or who y'all explained the situation to here at this former guardhouse, current pyre. But he talks to them, and then he does seem to look around. Does definitely note Gloob, who's exaggeratingly dumping a bucket out, and is a pink frog man. So definitely
Purple.
stands out.
Just imagine he's like making eye contact with him while he doesn't like.
Look what I'm doing.
Bucket is already clearly empty, but I'm like shaking every drop out of the bucket.
Eyes go from you to then immediately scanning the rest of the crowd and spots Bart and Julian. Finishes whatever he was saying to those groups and beelines over to you two. Comes walking up. Interesting to see the lot of you here tonight.
We were in town.
Indeed.
Something goes wrong, you help out.
Very kind of you. Y'all don't happen to know anything about what happened here?
I mean, seems like somebody set fire to your building here. That's what I would imagine.
So it would seem.
Oh, all these buckets of water are heavy. Oh, Captain Garthrin, I didn't see you there.
Sure you didn't. Well, I'm looking at the wounded. Appreciate any assistance that can be aided. And gifted both in the well-being of the wounded as well as the prevention of spreading fire.
Seems like there's probably still some fire left in town.
Do elaborate.
Maybe we could have a chat somewhere.
Just kind of glances around. Follow me. And he just kind of turns and calls out to some of his guys. As it dies down, would you start looking for evidence of arson, where it may have started, what may have started it, who may have started it? So just kind of like, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Bunch of affirmatives. As it is slowly dying down. It's kind of as bits of it is burned out, collapsing.
One last peep in the cell, if it's visible.
Quick perception check for me.
15. 11 plus
15?
4.
From out here, from what you can see, doesn't look like there's anybody inside of it.
Okay.
Garthen kind of turns it and leads the three of you a short distance away into kind of one of the side streets that's not like a main thoroughfare, but it's kind of off the side. Well, I'll appear to be missing one.
He's in your jailhouse.
Really? That was fast. Wouldn't have
Yeah,
expected
tell me
him to
about
be
it.
the one back in jail by now.
Our thoughts exactly.
Yep.
Someone put him in there. We're not exactly sure who or why.
I'm sure that the report is on my desk to be found in the morning, or intended to be found in the morning.
Right. Regardless, I mean, there are some Sea Prince agents you got in your town.
Really?
That's right. And they started this fire.
You can't buy this information how?
I just deduced it from one of their own being in the jail cell.
And how is it that you knew one of their own was in the jail cell?
Cause we put them there.
Of the guardhouse?
Yep.
Where did you inform them that he was a Sea Prince agent when you did so?
I informed him that he was a murderer. He attacked us on the streets. Which he did.
Murderers are not solely the purview of the Sea Princes, believe it or not.
For the sake of discretion, we were trying to find you, but your subordinates were hardly making it easy.
As they're not supposed to.
Your notebooks make things difficult for things to happen the right way.
If I came calling for every single individual who wished my attention, I would never sleep.
We're not every single individual.
Indeed, you're
We
not.
don't.
You have been recently arrested individuals who have not earned my trust or those of my men.
We're trying to gain that from you now.
Good. I would love nothing more. The Sea Prince agent. Where did you come by him?
Tried to poke holes in us.
Yeah, he tried to. Well, I say try. He did. I mean, he stabbed me deep while I was under the guise of Julian here's son on the streets. Stabbed me twice in the back, ripped them suckers out, put me to the knee.
He's kind of raised an eyebrow at you, and he's.
We poked more
You
holes
have
in
shaved.
him, though.
Yeah,
All right.
don't remind me. Just fucking pet the baby bottom.
I was, shortly before I retired for the evening, informed of a larger incident that had occurred closer to Dockside and was under investigation, but with no immediate arrests. This is perhaps where you acquired this individual.
That's where we were attacked.
But you were not at the scene.
No, we were not.
Didn't
When we were-
exactly hold still.
Right, when we were fighting him, but when he was trying to flee, he was whistling for others for help. So
I see.
we didn't think it would be a very smart idea to stay there and have more knives put in us.
Bart and him were actively bleeding out. We
Right.
were for both of them.
Understandable.
Bart saved
Beware.
his life, regardless.
That
Noble of you.
means there are almost guaranteedly more agents in the city.
And you spent no time questioning this individual before you turned him over to the guards.
We had a
How
chat.
could it?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to be honest. We had a chat. Investigated where Julian's brother was at. Found out where he was at. And how many more agents were in town. Didn't get an exact number, but around a dozen with the intended purpose of causing harm to Julian and others of his like for similar disposition, I guess you could say, towards his brother.
You disclosed none of this information to the guards that you turned him over to.
We're aware of
Go ahead, sorry.
You go ahead, Julian.
we're aware of other agents in the city, but he could not disclose for sure whether any were within your force. We may be at conflict, but I don't think you're in their pocket. So you're the one we tell
Astute of
things
you.
to.
Well, unfortunately, it would appear that secrecy has been for naught. And at the very least at the cost of several men's lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are in a bit of a pickle, as
The intent was to let you know and him to only be in there for moments. But we could not get access to you.
it is the middle of the night, yes. Well,
Bart acts like he's about to say something like, yeah, motherfucker, crime happens in the night, but he holds it back.
and I, he just kind of looks at you and just like, and I cannot be active at all hours of the day.
Yeah, I understand. I just wish things were different.
As do we all. Well, what information did you get from this individual?
You've just about got it all. Agents remaining in the city. after us, me specifically,
Hmm,
and my brother, who they already have. That has been confirmed.
I see.
He is no longer in the city.
Do you know where he has been taken? Did he divulge that information?
It's an island. We don't know the exact location of it, but
And give it
it's
a name of
apparently
any kind.
of some repute where some sort of doctor for the Sea Princes resides. I don't know if you've heard any tale of them.
I can't say that I have.
Out of character, did we know the name of the doctor that
Nope.
worked on Julian? Okay.
The only name I had was his assistant. That was
He
the
has
only
been-
name I had at all.
Yeah, he has
Oh,
been
wait,
referred to
but-
as the Doctor almost exclusively.
Right, and then Julian did give us a name at I think the first session.
Yeah, that's the name of his personal assistant. It was the only name that Julian knew. When he started his own personal investigation at the start of this campaign, that was his only clue.
I don't think I wrote that name down.
I
Okay.
surely didn't.
I got it. One sec.
I doubt Cody remembers it if he doesn't remember his own damn son's name.
But I remember asking one of the as soon as Julian told us the name, I went and asked the guard around town if they had heard of him.
That's right.
There we go. Adeline.
That's right.
So he's been taken to an undisclosed island location, presumably somewhere within the Sea Prince's territory.
That's right.
All we really found out is we're gonna be killing more pirates.
Never a bad thing in my experience.
Bottom line is that those bad men are in town for us and Julian's family.
Can I insight check him when he says never a bad thing to kill pirates?
Sure, go ahead and roll an insight check.
He is being sincere. That one came through real good. Fucking pirate, says this guy.
11 on the dice, plus 1 for insight, so 12.
12. I say above the double digits. I mean, he doesn't seem to hold any particular love for pirates. So, we try to do away with them as we can, but the holdings are not lacking in manpower.
Trust me, we're just thrilled to find out all of it.
Well,
He says, looking not at all thrilled.
did he give you any details upon what further agents are here within the city?
They're, from what I understand or understood, they are all folk like him. Folk that are supposed to, they go out to these towns and have their, I guess they're pirate assassins. They stay there until the job's done. I don't know the technical term for it, but their job is to do misdeeds. I thought it was just being thuggery, but apparently it's down to arson and all kinds of other things as well.
It's confirmed murder. He's killed several of Seaton's citizens.
That's
He
true.
also clarified they operate largely independently, not as any kind of organized group.
So they didn't have much connection between those that were here within the city.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that they at least saw him getting captured.
So minimal contact.
Right.
It's what it seemed to be, at least. If he was being honest, which is always on the table that he wasn't.
Entirely possible. Well, it would appear that we do not have possession of him one way or the other now. That noise has started again and it will not stop.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Apparently, it's whoever's hosting the Skype call, is what it feels like. Note that for later.
Should we get someone else to host them?
I don't know. But, well, course, we won't be able to. I guess we'll continue our search. Of course, these people can be doing their damnedest to hide.
Right.
I suspect, especially perhaps a little bit more now. Perhaps not. You said they were searching for you specifically, you and your family, yes?
Captain
Told
Carter.
you in our first meeting we made enemies of the
Correct.
pirates.
Interesting enemies to make. Yes.
Man's family is an easy target.
With all due respect, that's exactly why we have to hurry up and get his family out of here. And to do that, we need our friend Jakob back. He's done nothing wrong.
From what I understand, I was able to at least speak with him. The only thing he did wrong was tell the truth.
Which was?
That we were going around town and me dressed up as Jakob's kid. Or, I mean, me dressed up as Julian here's son, so that we would be attacked.
So you were intentionally inciting the violence.
We're drawing it out.
You do understand that would be less than legal, correct?
The only thing we did was save lives because they were doing it whether it was us or not. They've already killed several associates. So the only thing we did is save another life.
And we were pretty sure of their intentions to attack us anyway. We'd rather them do it on our terms, when we're prepared.
And yet imagine how much better it could have turned out if it had been in cooperation with myself.
You're right.
That
Yep.
is where we come to issues. Because
Or if they would have avoided us entirely had we been in the company of guards.
if you think I am so stupid as to attempt to capture them by having my guardsmen actively surround you, then you have gravely misunderstood my purpose here.
Regardless of mistakes made, and mistakes were made, not denying
He's
that.
gonna actively like side eye you during that.
But that's not how it played out. People died, and
Indeed.
I feel terrible for it. And maybe it could have been avoided. Maybe none of this would have happened. Maybe you wouldn't have got the information. I don't know for certain what would have gone through, but it's happened now, and we need to move forward. Time is of the essence. There's anything we have to do, I understand that. But we need to prevent what's happening now and the next steps that happen very, very quickly.
With us having this target on our back, the best thing for you is to get us out of the city. Us includes Jakob. So we get Julian and Jakob, Julian's family and Jakob out of the city. We're out of your hair. Hopefully for at least a while.
I'm trying to refocus my camera, god damn it.
You can turn off autofocusing. I do that every time.
I don't know. Anywho.
We're not saying we're trying to escape justice or any wrongdoings or anything like that, but this is the situation that we're in.
More people are going to die. We need to make sure it's the right people.
As little as some of you may believe it, my purpose here is to protect the lives of the citizens as well as those under my command. And I cannot do that in ignorance. However, some exceptions must be made when situations are extreme. So, I will fucking build a bear. There we go. There we go. Like fucking magic. Jesus Christ. I hate it here. So, I can stall what I may. I'll do my best to stall what I may in regards to your friend. I cannot guarantee that nothing will follow him, but should be able to get enough for all of you to exit unmolested.
If you feel that strongly about it, knowing him, he will willingly return for trial.
He ignores you. Extricate your friends, family members, get them to somewhere safe, and do what you may in regards to the Sea Princess and where he has been taken. I do not relish the idea that a citizen under my purview has been taken outside of my reach, but my hands are quite full here. So, I will do what I can to mask your friend's exit. Maybe it'll stick, maybe it won't. I can make no guarantees. Do what you must.
You're
And I
trying
will
to
do
say
what I
that
must.
trying to say that you're going to get him out of his predicament in illegal manners?
I'm going to muddy the waters.
Okay.
In
There's a
a
big difference between
bureaucratic sense.
right.
So perhaps that will prevent those from above me from removing me from my responsibilities.
Right.
Well, if we're gonna do it, let's get to it then.
Where do we meet him at?
Will y'all be leaving by boat or by land?
Initially
Yes.
by land.
Yeah, we've got a small boat in town, but it's very obvious. You can see anyone who's on that ship. It's very small.
So you'll be leaving it here. Alright.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Are y'all planning on heading back, just for my knowledge, are y'all planning on heading back towards Saltmarsh side? Like exiting Saltmarsh side of the city? Or just exiting in general, because there's a couple exits.
Marsh, right?
Yeah. I mean, it might be best if we head back to Saltmarsh until we can figure out the best place to keep them.
Were we not serious about the plan to take them to your village?
Was that out of character or in character?
I'm asking that out of character, but
Okay,
I thought
yeah,
we
I
discussed
have-
it in character.
Yeah, that was an option. I don't know if it was set in stone that we were doing that or not.
Well, that plan has definitely changed now because the guy you said Gilbin in front of is now alive and well. So we think. So well, I think we can exit Saltmarsh side and talk about where we're actually going to go from there.
Very
Right.
well.
With Jakob.
If anything, we can at least have them expecting to go to Saltmarsh and then perhaps go some other place.
Right.
Alright. I will have him delivered to the gate right outside.
All right. How long do you think it'll be for that now?
Just kind of glances back over his shoulder towards where things are going on. I will need about an hour to wrap things up with this particular incident. So,
We can
Alright.
grab your family in that hour.
Right.
Is this the last we're going to see of you for a while?
that would probably be intelligent.
When Firebrand does arrive and he does have his trial, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what a good man looks like, but I've put my knife in between the ribs of bad men before. Firebrand's innocent. We won't have time to prove that. Don't kill a good man.
I am not the ultimate authority in this city, unfortunately.
You can help, just like you're helping now.
At the end of the day, we're all the ultimate authorities of our own actions. regardless of whatever those above you may say. You've already shown that once. And that's a good thing.
His face does not change. Good luck.
For the record, that was not Julian being a smartass. That
Yeah,
was
I
him
know.
being, like,
I know.
sincere.
Yeah, and he just kind of looks around at all of you. And just good luck.
I'd like to shake his hand. Thank you. Won't go unpaid.
He just kind of reaches out, shakes your hand in return.
Don't touch my hands. Be a bad time.
You would be surprised how often it does, unfortunately. Turns and walks back towards his men to continue handling things with the fire.
All right.
Let's be quick and stealthy about this, because we got to get Jakob, but let's go get your family.
Right.
All
So
right.
look over at Bart.
Yeah, I'll send Dude Man a message using
Not John Seaton, James Stern. I almost
James
said John
Stern.
Seaton.
John Seaton!
James Stern.
The famous wrestler!
Oh my god.
It's just played on bagpipes instead.
A Bard non-classy class swaggers out on stage.
It's that guy that Jakob was fighting that kicked both our asses.
that was him operating without not under his stage name.
Yeah, I will light up and send that dude a message saying, we're getting out of town right now. Need a carriage. Where we meeting?
You know where we're meeting. You tell him where we're meeting.
Well, we gotta collect them somewhere.
Yeah, we're not just gonna meet him at the gate. That's a lot of dangerous territory for them to walk.
Okay, that's fair. Never mind. I'm done. Sorry.
Here's a quick. Oh god.
How many fucking ohms is that? Shut up, guy.
7.
You woke him up. It's like 12 a.m.
Is he yelling this too?
Uh,
It's like 12.
If it's speed we need, meet me by the warehouses.
We need to meet him by the warehouses.
Did you give a location? Specifically?
Motherfucker just said warehouses. I'm
Oh,
really
for
getting
fuck's
tired of
We were
people.
just at the warehouses earlier. We're not hard to spot.
There's one area where there are a bunch of warehouses.
Yep. We're
Julian,
going
you
there.
know at least one of them belongs to your brother.
I guess we're looking for carriages near the warehouses.
I'm
Julian.
super glad I went back to the boat to get my armor before this thing.
Julian, roll a quick intelligence check for me.
Ooh, that flat roll. We like those.
Yep.
It's not a 1. It's 2
Oh.
1s.
Oh, okay.
It's an 11.
Yeah.
With an 11, you are aware and have been to the warehouses owned by your brother.
Oh, good. I guess that's where we'll start, at least.
Stealthily.
Both those that are his public and his private.
These are my merchant warehouses, and these are my crime warehouses.
They're ones that are owned under a name that is not his.
Right. Well,
You
we'll
can
check
extrapolate that maybe Mr. Stern figured you knew where those were.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, we'll start surreptitiously heading that way.
Are y'all trying to stealth or are y'all just going? Okay. Thought you just get a round of
We-
stealth checks from everybody if you're trying to be sneaky beaky like.
Oh, the armor's back on. That wasn't a bit.
Advantage.
That would have been
Advantage.
another
Yeah,
20.
I'll say you have your advantage.
It wasn't a 20. What was it?
It is instead a flat 10.
Could be worse.
Plus 8's a real motherfucker, so I got a 24.
28.
24, 20. Very nice. Okay,
Fuck
so
you too.
28, 24, and a 10. I'll say
What
between.
you get, Yakub? Sorry.
Ah!
I've been trying so hard to get people to let you out of jail. I'm asking everybody. I'm like you with that goddamn water bottle, bruh. Like, yo, you let him out of jail. No? What about you?
Why'd you let him out of jail?
Somebody selling like sandwiches on the side of the road. Like, hey, can you let a man out of jail?
I'd like to hope that you'll come out to this rally this weekend in support for Yakub. He was prisoned wrongfully for vigilantes.
Oh no. Even with the
Anywho.
armor off, I was trying to be stealthy in my sleep. Natural 1.
Gets up, screams, runs in.
What's a 3? You're frightened of the creature closest to you other than yourself. There's nobody near you. You just get very afraid for some reason.
You hear the most demonic rat somewhere in the walls.
I have a question.
What's up?
Does his daughter apply to that?
His daughter is
As
a creature.
she
He's
she
just
is the
batshit crazy.
source of these roles. I say she doesn't count.
Okay. Keep your secrets.
She is the dark gift. So she is the whispering spirits or whatever the fuck the name of this dark
I'm just
gift
trying to
is.
gather whether she's an actual creature or not.
Oh my fucking god. I hate y'all. Anywho, you guys surreptitiously make over there, Gloob, you and Julian helping Bart out now that he's back in combat gear. Helping him, like, kind of stopping him a few times from just, like, trundling into something and making a giant racket. He was kind of edging him around, but so making y'all's way over there. Since y'all did take your time, Julian, you kind of get over to one of your brother's warehouses. It doesn't have any guards outside at this time.
Stay hidden in the shadows. I'll say that in
Okay.
character. Or in through the earpiece, actually. We just stay hidden until they show up.
Leslie's got the carriage inside. He wasn't very descriptive.
You want me to climb up and, like, look in some windows or something?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Julian will look around to see if he can see Stern hiding around anywhere.
I say y'all just sit there for a few minutes before you see one of those. You see like a door kind of crack open a little bit and an eye peek through. But y'all are stealth, so he can't fucking see you. Door closes again.
Well, I have noticed that with a 24 perception.
Yes, y'all are watching these warehouses.
Okay.
The people that are hiding are still hiding. They're waiting for
I'll
y'all to arrive.
Yeah, I'll elbow Gloob and point at that door.
Is that door looking suspicious?
They're in there. I just saw someone peeking from it.
Okay. Do we want to make sure it's them?
Sure. I mean, you're the most sneaky one. Just, shave and a haircut, I reckon.
Did Julie just knock on the door?
No, that was me. That was me knocking on my desk.
He said
I was
no.
like, I'm sneaking up to the warehouse and
Handshake.
Julie just goes.
Bum, 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 bum. He just fucking Eldritch Blast and rips the door. Then just, I'm tired of this shit.
Not the first time this
Let me
campaign.
in.
Yo, he is tired of this shit though.
Right. Glue will just kind of quickly
kinda go over.
run across the street, looking through a window, and
Easy
zoom
enough.
in with the goggles.
There is a carriage with horses and stuff hooked up in there. The whole kit and caboodle.
Give you a long thumbs up and open the door.
First, James, Mr. Stern spins around, sees it's you.
That's nice.
Julian will hustle over real quick and try and slip inside.
Yeah, I assume y'all all kind of trundle in there. He's what? Where's the other one? One more, the big guy.
We're meeting him at the gate.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Um, are we? We're leaving the city now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Everybody it turns around and starts. All right, everybody, load up. Hoods. Everybody, hoods up. Gets.
Julian's
everybody.
gonna like kind of square up with not like square up, but like kind of like face, staring and be like,
Are you going with them, or are you staying? They're not coming back anytime soon.
No, he's coming with us. He's a target. You're just as much going to get killed as the rest of them. We discovered that tonight.
You are welcome to come. It's his choice to make, though.
Sure.
Do you have a family here?
Not really. No.
I give him that look like, the fuck you mean not really?
Don't get me wrong. You should come.
I have friends who live here, but no, I don't.
And you
my
don't know
family's
which
not
one's
from
gonna
around
put a
here.
knife in your ribs.
What?
Julian's being a little bit dramatic, but there are maybe a dozen people in town trying to kill you along with his brother's family.
I told Abari that I would look after them. So
It's settled then. You're coming.
okay.
Swing by Ravishing Radius on the way out.
What?
Do it.
I don't think she's open right now.
That's fine.
Are you not coming with us?
Yes.
That's a bit of a
The
out
less
of the
you know,
way.
the better. Then we need to hurry, don't we?
He looks over at Bart. Is this really the like top priority?
I mean, it's the middle of the night. I mean, the more of a route that we take that's longer, the less they'll be able to catch up to us. We'll be moving on horseback. They'll have to be moving on foot. If we take a long approach to wherever we're going, they won't be able to keep up. There are people
What?
trying to kill
Yes,
us.
I don't think going up into the jewel of the market ring will really help us any. Also, Gloob, it's been less than a day since you ordered your clothes.
Gotta grab it.
I think
gotta
the
try to
implication
grab
is
it.
there's not much to grab.
I don't think there's really gonna be anything to grab.
What did she do to my jacket? She was supposed to add stuff, not take away.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking that you had ordered something new. So I mean, yeah, your jacket's in there. It won't be much
She was
different.
the chosen one.
But Bart, man, you bought all those new clothes for nothing.
What are you talking about?
Rip. Your stuff's
be
not
back.
done yet.
No, my stuff was just altered off the rack.
Oh, that's right. Gosh darn it. I keep thinking people.
I'm wearing
Julian
I'm wearing
ordered.
these-
I was gonna say somebody ordered new clothes. It was Julian, and his was gonna take a couple days. That's right.
Julian gonna be getting his
Holy
stuff hella
shit.
late.
Yeah.
His
that-
stuff was commissioned a day before. Yeah, a day before our stuff was.
yeah,
so-
but it was gonna take like 2 or 3 days.
It's been 2?
Yeah, Julian looks over at Gloob.
We'll be back through after they're safe.
Gloob, would you like to split off and go get your stuff from Ravishing Rain? Get your jacket from Ravishing Rainas?
I agree with Bart. I think a longer path, they have to catch up. We're not going to take them directly to the west gate where we're going to be, or the north-south gate for a meeting. Jakob.
The gate.
Why is
Town gate.
Why does this fucking map make no sense?
It's west because north was towards the.
Yeah, north. Yeah, I have the edited version. Yeah, that'd be the west gate. Actually, it would be the north gate. With how it's
The gate,
situated
it's
against the
okay.
water. It's in an
Time
inlet.
space doesn't
It's in
matter
an
in
inlet.
Saltmarsh.
So the north would be out. The west is towards the waters where the docks are.
The northeast gate.
The gate that's towards Saltmarsh. The Saltmarsh
Yes,
gate.
the Saltmarsh gate.
Yes, take them through the salt gates.
I guess we can. Guards might stop us going that route.
Gloob can get there quickly. He can jump from rooftop to rooftop. He's the most
Okay.
nimble
So
fellow
so
I've
we'll
ever seen.
meet you at the gate.
Right.
Okay.
We'll meet
We
him
can do that.
along the way when
All right.
we go by Ravishing's Raiment. Well, Raina's Ravishing Raiments. What was her name? Anyway, that place.
Ravishing Rain is fine works and cloth work.
There we go. I'm thinking of an Oblivion store.
Yes, you are.
Is there a carriage
goods
in
in
the
the Imperial
warehouse
City.
that we were loading
Yeah,
up
he is.
into?
He told the kids and people to load up into it.
Gotcha. I didn't know if it was like right there in the warehouse is what I was asking. So.
Right.
I will whisper to Gloob, "Get me a good hat," and just slip him 5 gold.
I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out there. There is no way on God's green earth that carriage would make it all the way up through the entirety of the market ring without getting stopped. Y'all know full well.
Oh.
There's no fucking way. It is the middle of the night. It's the wealthier part of town. Jakob got stopped for while just walking through and being heavily armed and armored.
Right. But Jakob wasn't in a carriage that's going at a dead sprint that will trample the fuck out of anyone getting in its goddamn way. Yeehaw, guns blazing.
Oh shit.
Gate.
Right? And
Needs to be
they'll
open.
They'll have orders to have those gates open for some people exiting. Right.
Wires might get crossed.
For-
Everybody roll an intelligence check for me real quick. D20, add your intelligence modifier.
Wait, for Julian's part, he was
12.
gonna ride inside the carriage with his wife and kid.
Right. 12.
A 14
14.
plus 0.
It might be best to send the... If you're gonna be stopped by ravishing Reynas, it might be best to do so as a stealthy fella and not a clattering horse-drawn carriage pursued by guards.
Sure. Okay.
So,
All right.
that is what
Gloob,
you wish to
make
do.
sure to let us know if anything goes wrong over that thing you got with Julian instantly. And where you are, too, so we can get there.
They won't catch me.
Still let us know if something goes wrong. Or if you see something.
Of course.
Just saying completely obvious, dumb, worry things you say to people.
All right.
Come back alive.
All right.
Are you
That was
frog
not
manning?
That was not in character. That wasn't intended to be a Julian growl. That was a World War II dramatic growl.
Are you frog manning your way over there, Gloob?
100%.
Hell yeah. So I want to get 3 rolls from you. 1 stealth check.
I'll give him guidance for the first 60 seconds.
Sure.
I guess that applies to my stealth checks.
Yeah, that'll be your first. Yeah, that'll be your first roll.
Okay.
So roll the lead,
People can't see my hand. You can't see I'm holding up one finger.
I
I was like slightly off camera.
29 on the stealth check.
Very nice. Second roll. So you make it through to Ravishing Reynas uncontested.
Okay.
Your second roll would be to break in.
Okay.
Give me a thieves' tools check.
13 plus 11 is 24.
24. Easy enough. Third. Perception or investigation, your choice.
Oh no.
I feel like a bad man.
Well, it's obviously got to be perception.
I'm not 100% what your stats are.
I have a +0 to investigation and +4 to perception.
Big herd.
Of course, I rolled the worst on that one too. 8.
8. Okay. It takes you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you have free reign of this place and you're stealthy as shit. You do find it. It just takes you a few minutes.
I like to think that I'd probably find our clothes that we commissioned very quickly, but Bart said find him a nice hat, and she's just got like a large selection, so I'm just indecisive and thinking about which one.
Sure. So you're sitting there. You've got your jacket on. It looks like there was some cloth laid out like that she had started, like she was going to be pairing it to do the reversible thing, but she hadn't gotten to it yet. So
Fine.
you get your jacket back on. So you're saying
Bart's clothes. Do I see any clothes with like a J. A Rossi or a Y. McDoonsley written on them anywhere?
Jakob, did y'all both order clothes?
I didn't.
thought it was
I
just
was
Julian.
there.
Yeah.
I didn't know if which one of you guys gave her the name. So
Well, it was for Julian. I mean, I will say, yeah, you find it. It's not finished. It looks like it's mostly finished, but they're there. Just kind of whoop. Okay, unfinished.
find
Nice
a
clothes.
nice hat that I like.
Yeah.
What the fuck color was his jacket? What color's your jacket? Blue, I guess.
You're muted, Bart.
With black.
Blue and black.
See if I can find that.
Blue on black.
Does she have any
She's on a
pipes,
river.
like accessories?
He's just fucking thieving now.
I mean, it's fine works and cloth work. So I mean, she's got some other bits and bobs. It's mostly of the cloth variety.
Mm-hmm.
So things that aren't necessarily like clothing themselves, but are like cloth attire. Like she's got like a variety of little handkerchiefs, like cloth flowers, all that kind of thing.
No pipes.
No
All right.
pipes.
Shove the thing in. Shit, I should have taken that gold from Bart. That wasn't for me to keep. I didn't think about that. Global rustle through his
Are you gonna leave money on the counter?
I have 5 silver to my name, and I will leave all 5 silver.
Oh my god. Okay. You just drop 5 silver on the counter.
You have how much to your name?
Nothing.
Nothing
now.
now. I mean, it's broke, bro.
I don't know
It's
who's
like,
buying
looked
dinner
at the
now.
inside of his jacket. She didn't finish my stuff, so I'm gonna take 2 silver back.
You did already pay her.
I know.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't know if Bart did.
She got
Not
paid
for the
already.
hat.
Yeah.
I'll leave her 2 silver for the hat, or 3 silver for the hat, and keep 2 to myself, and then. Oh shit. Okay.
Do you lock the
Look.
door back?
No, I don't. I told you I'm not ever gonna do it again. So I close the door and I leave.
Okay. That being said, we'll then pan back to Jakob. I'm so sorry, my boy. The long absence. Jakob, you're sleeping a deep rest, both deep and restless sleep, when you woken by the sound of a key turning in your door. Door opening up.
Oh. Is it morning already?
It is definitely dark.
I don't know. I'm in jail
No.
cell.
No, it's not. Come on.
Oh, okay.
So an individual who is hooded, like cloaked, kind of hard to make out the rest. You can see that they are wearing guard attire underneath, but clearly trying to maintain some kind of anonymity as they take you out and lead you to the front door, where it's really kind of like there's fewer guards than normal. It's like, oh, it's the middle of the night, so there's fewer guards, and the guard that's at the desk is studiously not paying attention to you as you and your escort come walking out, and your escort picks up basically a package that seems to have your armor wrapped in it, as well as your greatsword. Picks up and hands it to you.
Oh. Am I good to go?
Just come with me.
Oh, okay.
Come on. Quickly, come on. Takes you out and just not saying almost not a word outside of, like hushing you whenever, and it seems to be deliberately kind of snaking you through some of the streets before ultimately taking you to that north, the Saltmarsh Gate, the Marsh Gate, the Marsh Salt Gate, the Ghost of Saltmarsh Gate, where there are a couple more guards very much doing their best not to pay any attention to you or a carriage that is parked just outside the gate that happens to have who's driving. Are y'all leaving it to Mr. Stern, or is it one of you guys?
Yeah,
John
we'll leave it
Cena.
to Stern.
John Cena. I'm making that a fucking NPC now, by the way, just so everybody's aware. Y'all leaving it to
John
Mr. Stern? All right.
Yeah.
To where you see sat on the front driver's seat one similarly hooded and cloaked James Stern. And the
Is
dude
Glue
just kind
Birdie
of
back to the carriage?
Yeah.
Oh, hell
Say.
yeah.
with how quick y'all went through things, I'd say y'all would have got there first. But the guard who accompanied you gives you like a shove in the back and immediately turns around and walks away.
Thanks. But,
We'll explain. Come on.
hey, Gloob.
Come on,
This
man.
is all legal. Get the hell inside.
We gotta
Okay.
go.
Is everything okay? Like,
Everything's
my,
good, man.
my house? Is that okay?
House is fine.
Okay.
Stop fucking. I'm gonna smack him I'm gonna smack him in the new head as he's shaking his head. No.
What's wrong?
You
I'll
just
get
see
in-
me doing this inside the
Whack,
inside
whack.
I'll get into the wagon, but what's wrong with my house?
House is fine.
Your house, yeah, nothing's wrong with your house. It's just going to be unlocked for forever
Stern, start driving.
And it's almost as soon as Jakob's in, he turns and
We can write a.
What do you
we can
mean my
write a
house is
letter.
unlocked?
These things happen.
so pulls out almost immediately after that gate closes behind you guys. Where's missing Julian? I feel really bad. I mean, it's gone. Bart, you find yourself, not Bart, I'm sorry, Jakob, you find yourself in the back of this cart with not just Bart and Gloob and Julian, who's just kind of staring off into space at the moment, just kind of zoning
Staring
out.
off into his wife's eyes.
Yes.
He's got his son
Yeah,
is in his
yeah,
pocket.
he's over there huddled up with his wife and son and a very grumpy looking like aristocratic woman who has her kind of nose up in the air.
Oh shit, I forgot about her.
Yep, Abby's there. She's not gone. She looks kind of peeved. But she's looked peeved the entire time that anybody has seen her since, recently. So all your friends, Julian's family, released from jail under mysterious circumstances. And he's still not back. I'm dragging this out as much as I can.
He said in chat you should absolutely cut off after finishing with Chris. I absolutely have to step away.
Oh, I see that. Well, on that note, as y'all pull off, and I'm sure Yakov has plenty of confusion and questions to ask his friends into the night, under the moon and the stars, that is where we'll go ahead and end tonight's session. Yakov, you're out of jail. I'm so sorry, buddy.
That's fine.
But yeah,
We
now
made
it's done. No more jail, no more Seton, no more threats of jail.
For now.
I swear to God, next time, not coming out. I'm gonna say you're in jail. Make a new character. That's it. Done. I'm not. That's it. That's 3 strikes. You're out. That's how it works.
My wife. My wife.
Anywho, thank you guys so much for playing. It was a little bumpy, but I still had a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys as well. Thank you anybody who came and watched. I hope y'all had a good time. We do this here game every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, and on Saturdays, our friend over here, Mr. Gloob himself, runs a little game we call Across Eberron, with myself, Bart, and Julian, and some other folks who are all a ton of fun. We get up to some shenanigans. We're currently underground. We finally made our way to the dwarves' hometown, which is fucking sick so far. So you should definitely come check out that at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard on Saturdays. But yeah, we're still doing we're doing this charity drive instead of Extra Life for my fucking International Medical Corps, who are doing things to help the people of Ukraine and all the things that are going on over there. It's a really worthy cause. Yeah, I'd check out that link down below and maybe donate. I also encourage you to take a look-see at and do research for other charities that are doing things similar to help the people that are